Experience tranquility.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Overwatch Tranquility Community 3v3 Lockout Elimination Tournament. I am Ski Free Yeti. I will be your analyst and producer for the evening. Joining me today, we have Booth, the GM of Invictus. Welcome, Booth. Are you excited for today?
Very excited. I'm really looking forward to watching how these metas are 3v3. Wondering if maybe some of the teams later down in the bracket are going to start stealing strats from the teams up here in the front. Also really excited to see that some of the teams aren't necessarily all Tranquility partners on their teams. They're just friends playing together, so that can be really cool to see some rivalries popping up there.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to see some of these interesting little combinations show up here. We see teammates going against each other. We see Discord against Harmony. It's a big jumbled mess, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And starting off the day here today, we have Trace Videos taking on Team Caliber. And it's going to be a good one. Team Caliber made up of 3 members of the #1 team Commit, and Trace Videos made up of 3 members of the ever roller coaster ride, I guess, of Instalock.
Well, Instalock also high in the rankings here, so starting off with a high-level Discord matchup is going to be really fun.
Yep, and we're going to be getting in here pretty quick. We're going to go ahead and start this map up right now. The first round matches are all going to be on Eco Point Antarctica, guys, so we will get this one going right now. Let's see here. And that lobby is starting up right now. So we've seen a lot of... There we go. Booth. The lobby is messing with us a little bit here. So the teams will be sorting themselves out now. Again, guys, we are on Eco Point Antarctica to start this one on round 1. Do you have any thoughts here on who's going to come on top? Have you had the chance to play against Commit yet this season?
We have not played against Commit yet. We have played against Instalock, but Instalock season week 2 was a little bit different, coming in now to Instalock week 3. So starting off now, we're seeing 2 DPS starting of Trace Videos with the Hanzo and the Genji, but we do see a double tank with a Moira, which is just the last thing you want to see coming in as a Genji player. That halt hook combo, very deadly.
It's like the last meta all over again. Oh my goodness.
Oh, don't scare me with that as well. But we do see taking the high ground here with your tanks a really good option. Just you can't really push into them too much. They're playing pretty well spread off here on the side of Trace Videos. But trying to get a little bit of poke damage, kind of hard to do there through some shields. Hoping this one doesn't end up just being a brawl here at the end of the point. But looking like they're just going to keep rotating here, playing around their shield, playing things kind of safe, and trying to get a little halt hook there, but just out of range every time.
One thing worth noting here is if we're looking at ult charge right now, Ice is getting closer and closer to that coalescence, but Frosty actually right now is 80% to Dragon, and that could be a really big ult here with these very slow-moving tanks.
Oh, definitely. That Dragon Strike could be very deadly here. And looks already getting the Dragon Strike up. I think things might start opening up here now with ultimates coming online now on both sides. So 25 seconds here left until the control point opens, but now we're throwing out the Dragon early on, but they fall to point perfectly, almost as if they're expecting it.
Does look like we have a split-up team right now for Instalock, and my camera is stuck currently.
Oh, and Silent Monkey going down there early on, Frosty following second, and with 8 seconds left, we get the win over on the side of Team Caliber.
Team Caliber comes out early with the 1-0 win, or 1-0 lead. A familiar start for Commit, it seems like, this season, wouldn't you say?
That's what it seems like. Well, locking out Arisa Hog there. Keep trying these two tanks with the support here. Maybe they have to add in some DPS.
As a reminder for everyone, it is first to 3, so they do have to switch things up here. And look, a familiar comp coming out here from the guys on the guys on Trace Videos.
Yeah, pulling out the same comp now that we saw here on the side of Team Caliber, which definitely seemed to work well for them, but they do have the pharmacy with the ball here. That ball could be very important with knocking these guys here off the high ground and giving their pharmacy some space here to get some damage in.
Really, if there's ever a comp that I can do... Oh, they managed to hook the ball out, though, but Sir Andy does manage to get out of there. Just barely a sliver of health taken off of him.
Sir Andy can really try to maybe get a little bit of poke damage and then be able to get their mercy a little bit all charged. But as that said, Kuna getting the hook, taken out. They go in for the res, but that's not going to be enough. Now the healer and the damage down, just Sir Andy left here on the ball, and that is sure going to be tough when it gets two tanks there with the shield.
You know, it would be interesting because I'm pretty sure this is the first time Commits lost a map all season. So,
I think we can count that one up there.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting sign. But now both teams don't have the halt hook combo, so the meta is shifting, if you will.
Exactly. I think maybe you're going to see some pharmacies definitely coming out on each side now. We saw how that was effective there, but having that halt hook combo really is effective against almost every comp, unless you're running it right back into them, so it seems.
Teams are prepping now. We do see again the Wrecking Ball comp out for Team Caliber. Trace Videos going with a bit more of a Death Ball comp.
Yeah, I like that. A little hard to deal with the pharmacy with that when Lucio's your hit scan, but maybe if they're able to do a little bit of damage there on the ball and make this a 3v2 fight and just force them to point, that would probably be their best play here. With that being said, the pharmacy just trying to poke some damage in here. Reaper's hiding in the corner. He wants nothing to do with it. But just going to be a lot of poke comp here. Shiro's definitely going to try to get some poke damage in. Ryan trying to get a little sneaky of a charge, but a little hard to do there when your pharmacy's up into the sky taking a lot of ground.
I have to say, Shiro got really close there when he didn't need to, and he almost lost his life for it.
That would have definitely been probably the most effective form of Ryan hit scan, charging the fair that's on the ground.
It's interesting too. If you look at the layout for Instalock as well, they have Kuna, their usual hit scan, on main tank, and Silent Monkey, winner of the best main tank in season 2, is playing Lucio. So it's exactly what you'd expect.
Maybe they were expecting the Fire Strike hit scan meta to come out here for their Reinhardt. With that being said, though, not tons of alt charge coming either way yet. Getting kind of close on the barrage. Frosty is going in now, trying to put a little bit of damage in on the Wrecking Ball, but able to get some healing. Looks like the Death Volley comp is just going to have to try to force him to point and maybe try to dance around the middle here. With only 18 seconds left. The Silent Monkey going down early. Sir Andy getting the pick on him. That's all their heals. Now the pharmacy can just open straight up from the top.
Shiro is very low, however, but he doesn't get any value from that. In fact, he's taken down.
No, he doesn't. Kuna does fall, though. That means only the Reaper left, but if there's one hero here that could win a 1v1, it could be the Reaper. Oh! Killing all three. Oh, my goodness.
Frosty with the huge plays puts it at match point here for Trace Videos.
And if there's one hero that's going to be able to take out 3 people without a healer, that is going to be your Reaper every time. If this meta shows us anything.
Very big plays from Frosty. Frosty, new to this season, has definitely been making an impact early on here. Definitely doing a lot of big work for Instalock right now. And my oh my, they're 1 point away from taking out Caliber, who I think a lot of people would say was a probable favorite coming into today.
Oh, definitely. You have to assume that with how well they've been doing here in the Discord tier. But with them pulling out the Bastion, that is a lot of damage. Kuna, luckily on the Sombra, building up an EMP and trying to hurt this bunker here would be very big for them. But that is a lot of sustain there with the Baptiste and with the Sigma to protect their Bastion and try to build up ult charge as fast as they can. They do get an early hack here on the Bastion, but they're able to peel pretty easily and help him out. But this is all going to be just a game here for Kuna to try to get his EMP as quickly as possible.
Kuna manages to get an EMP, this bunker is going to get shut down, and I don't know if they can handle it. Frosty is an incredible projectile player, and he's almost got Baptiste here. Baptiste down to 1.
Oh, having used the Immortality early, maybe they're able to push here. The Bastion's sitting up alone here without many shields with him yet. He does get the hack off pretty early here. Pushing in, but the Baptiste able to keep the sustain up, and it's probably just still going to be a poke battle here. We do see Silent Monkey getting about up here to 80% now on the Valkyrie. And that's going to come in real handy there when they're trying to focus down this Bastion.
Now Ice is getting very close to a window here, which could be very potent for that team. But I don't know if they're going to be able to handle this barrage right now. Oh, and Kuna!
I don't know. Oh, Kuna taking out the Baptiste real early on, just about to get the winner. That's basically just a second ultimate there, lost for the Bastion. No healing now. Hacking the Bastion, getting real low, going down. Just the Sigma left here. But they do end up. Sir Andy takes out Frosty early, but the EMP coming through. Sir Andy getting low, throwing out the res, but it's not gonna matter. Team Caliber falling in this first map here to Trace Videos.
I think a lot of people would call that an upset. Trace Videos pulling out a big win here, and definitely making a surprise. I don't even know how to describe this. I'm kind of blown away by it. I already had my Team Caliber victory speech written up.
Definitely showing away. And here's that Reaper 3K for the play of the game, just taking over that point for himself. A really great job there from Trace Videos.
Absolutely incredible work there from Trace Videos, moving on and taking the win. And now we're going to go ahead and bring into our next match here. That is going to be Team Caliber. I'm sorry, not Team Caliber. It's going to be Boop taking on Sunny D. And we're going to be bringing in our other caster for this one here. And that is going to be our fairly new to the community this season. He's actually not currently part of an active team, but we're bringing in Door, or however you want to go by on the stream. I've only called you Door before. So
no, Door's perfectly fine.
Right.
That was a great match to watch, though, on stream. Trace Videos coming out with a big one.
Yeah, that was an excellent match. Definitely Trace Videos with a big upset here. But moving on here, we have Sunny D, which is made up of 3 members of Vitamin Z, Capital Sushi, and Normac, and Boop, made up of 3 members of Boop, with Race, FPV, Seraph, and Bard. So Sunny D, Vitamin C, and Boop, basically 2 teams on opposite ends of the spectrum, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, really. Boop coming in, last I checked, they weren't doing too hot in the league, but Vitamin C is looking real good as far as I can tell.
Jeff Kaplan, I'm sorry, he said the L word. We are a community, and we know that. So Boop definitely starting to pick up the pieces a little bit, though, from the early struggles. Clearly making some big improvements. I don't think there's any questions about that. And we're going to go ahead and get this match going here. Both teams are ready. So we will start off again on Eco Point, Antarctica.
Arriving at Eco Point, Antarctica.
And again, Vitamin C, we see Sushi second place in the MVP mid-season awards. Capital was voted the second best main support in the Harmony tier, and Normac obviously on the best main tank list as well. Race, FPV, Seraph, and Bard, none of them made an appearance on those lists, but Bard has been looking really good this season, on the especially on projectiles.
Fight.
I'm excited to see how this goes down, especially we talked about the team rankings, but this is 3v3. It's Wild West out here.
Okay, looks like we have a pause requested. We're going to go ahead and pause. Okay. So it looks like we have some issues with somebody not loading in correctly. We will be looking to... let me just verify here that everybody's set to go.
We can go ahead and do it for him real quick.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and restart this lobby here. And we'll get everything going, hopefully on an even playing field. Looks like there was a technical issue with Normac getting into the lobby, but we are good to go here now, and teams are actually able to set up. So any takes from the first round, watching that first round match between the 2 teams?
I think it's just starting to show us how important these tanks are going to be. There's only so many in the game and so many combos that you can pull off with them, as well as hero duos like we talked about the Halt Hook, as well as the Far Mercy being really important here, especially if you can pick it when they don't have a hit scan.
We see that new Lego Bastion skin coming out from Capital here.
So they just win automatically, right?
Yeah, no, that skin is hideous. We see Barden on the Tracer, though. We haven't seen a whole lot of Tracer this season, I have to say.
No, it hasn't been too prevalent in the meta, but if he can pull it off here, apply enough pressure, maybe charge up a Pulse Bomb to put down on Capital, it could be huge.
Both teams kind of feeling each other out very slowly here for good reason. Boop not wanting to give too much damage to that Bastion so he can charge up a tank ult, and they're just kind of slowly whittling through it. We see Race FPV on the Moira. Moira obviously in really great shape in the current game. Without question, I would say a very viable choice for this game mode.
Also worth noting, it's probably a pretty good pick with this Roadhog here. Being able to put out a lot of heals for not so immobile of a character. It's going to help get through a lot of those halts and help him live through a lot of things as fast as going out.
Both teams right now feeling out each other very slowly here. Right now, it looks like we might get to the situation where the point might come into play again. Bard has lost about 50 health. That actually is relatively impactful here. He's got to be really careful watching his health pool. Ooh, he takes a lot of damage.
Link over. They're starting to push up here just before the point goes because they know it's going to be really hard to displace this Orisa.
Smart play there.
Pushing in.
The lamp is out here from Sushi, but it's going to burn out before a lot of the damage can come in.
On the flank, they're just waiting for that lamp to go down, and the Roadhog goes down, pushing through the shield. Moira trying to flank on the Bastion, the Tracer taking the other side. Capital doesn't know quite where to aim, but he's going to find the kills anyway. And that looks like it is going to be the round.
Yeah, Boop falls there. Looks like Sunny D takes round 1. I have to say that was a rough situation, kind of decided at hero selection. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say so. I think a lot of these rounds, especially with the when we see the Orisa and the Sigma and all that shield up time, they're going to come down to either pushing onto the point or pushing early aggressive up onto that high ground, which is very difficult.
Agreed. So we see Pharmacies from both sides, but you have to think Boop has the advantage here with what they have for their secondary selection there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, coming out with the McCree, a lot of the weight's going to be put on Seraph here. See if he can hit his shots. Real close up coming out from Norman.
What a big flashbang there from Seraph as well. Oh, and they get Sushi. That's a huge pick.
That's big pick. It's also one big thing to note is in 3v3 Lockout, the Mercy, the bodies stay there for the entire round. They can res whenever they want. So if you take out anybody before you kill that Mercy, there's a high likelihood of them getting resurrected.
So big play there, taking out the Mercy first. Bard right now trying to find an angle to get in onto Norimak. Norimak is on the Roadhog, who can obviously heal himself, so
he's gonna have to find a huge pick here if he wants to win this. Oh, and that might just be it. Finding the hook onto the Mercy, but the Mercy barely manages to fly away.
And looks like
picking up the res, like I said, those dead bodies stay there for the entire round. It's looking really rough here for Norimak.
So Norimak now is gonna have to pull off the big 3v3. Boop looking for a window to take him out. He puts himself into a corner. Nobody puts Roadhog into a corner except himself, apparently. And
he's at 80% ult charge. This could go differently.
And he took out Bard.
Big pick.
Now they got to be careful here. Normac can find. He's got his ult. He's
all of a sudden, this is looking a lot more doable.
Certainly not outside the realm of possibility. He's watching that body too. He is not letting the Mercy get there.
Absolutely not. Race FPV, however, just hiding around the corner waiting for it. Do you think they're going to try and pressure him out?
I think they're going to try to get it once he goes. He's going to have to collect the point here. He does go get the res.
Oh, no. Cameron, the ult's huge. If he can pick off the Mercy.
He does.
Oh, it's so close. But Bard coming out with the ult to just close out that round.
Big plays there from Nowhere Mac, almost pulling that one out. But Boop evens the score with Sunny D 1-1. Now Pharmacy out of the window for Boop, and that takes Bard, one of Bard's best heroes out of play. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle moving forward here.
Sunny D, though, still, I believe, has the Orisa going into this next round, which could be really important as she is very strong in this mode.
I think
clearly
she was in the bunker one they did in the first round, right?
Yeah, she's been run bunker twice. We've seen her paired up with a Bastion and a Baptiste, I believe, for 2 rounds now. And both times it's extremely hard to displace.
Orisa, obviously a very good choice here in the 3v3. We see the halt hook with the Moira from Boop, and we see a Sigma Rhine Moira brawl comp.
I think this is really wise from Boop here, pushing super aggressively, not giving that team any time to assert themselves.
You see Sushi dip very low, but it is a Moira, so that doesn't mean a whole lot in the long run. Both Moiras actually dipping very low.
Capital's all the way up to 70% ult charge, and Race FPV's almost got his Coalescence up.
Could be a big opportunity here for Race. He's at 90% health. Oh, and a huge shield from Nowhere Max to save Sushi after he got hooked out by Bard.
Saving him. Still can't pass this Orisa shield, but they're going to look to engage with this Coalescence. Sarah stuck up against the Reinhardt coming out from... Boop, and this Coalescence absolutely shredding everybody coming from Sunny D.
And Bard and Race pick off Sushi and Capital. It's just the Sigma now for for Sunny D. Slowly but surely, Race FPV leading the charge and taking him down.
2 to 1.
Again, Boop coming out, impressing us once again. This match not exactly going how we thought it would based on the rankings.
No, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit here to Race FPV, Seraph, and Bard. They're putting on a good show. Seraph obviously did excellent on the McCree without question, and Race on that Moira, very, very effective last round.
And now that we've got the Orissas and Roadhogs out of the way, it's going to be real interesting to see what these teams try to do.
So
Both teams, however, opting for the Ana Reaper, possibly trying to charge up a couple ultimates.
Interestingly enough, we do see a variance on the tanks, though. We see the Sigma coming out for Silent D, and we see Seraph on the Reinhardt. I love the fact that we're seeing all these different roles, by the way. That's so much fun.
Yeah, everybody just move around.
Ana is being isolated. Oh, and they did manage to reconnect, so no impact there in Ana being isolated.
I think a lot of the onus here is coming out from Boop and their ability to engage on the Sigma. He's going to be able to peel so well for that Ana. Meanwhile, Capital's going to be able to absolutely rip on this Reinhardt in his shield.
All right. Right now, it looks like Boop is just kind of hanging tight. They get a big sleep on the Sigma.
Big sleep. They can push with this. Bard, the first one out the door. Capital, however, on the flank gets a lot of damage, and he's straight up purple. The accretion coming out from Noramac, finding the Reinhardt, maybe delaying him in just enough time. Gonna deny enough of that damage, put the shield forward, and hopefully for them, disengage. Boop, however, pushing around the right side, finding the kill onto the Reaper for Sunny D, sorry. Seraph absolutely going ham for this Ana, looking for the kill with Bard right close behind, but massive gravitic flux, and it's not going to be enough.
And Boop takes the win over Sunny D. Again, turning the standings upside down in the Tranquility community's Harmony tier. Big win there from Boop. Gotta say, that's very impressive.
I think it's about time we stop placing bets and stop looking at the team rankings overall. This is going to be an interesting night.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what these teams continue to bring here. It's going to be a lot of fun here for the rest of this night, guys. A lot of good players and a lot of good teams, and really just kind of again turning the meta on its head here. So we're gonna send Dora off to build the next lobby, but Booth is collecting together Team Enigma and Team Zoomers, and that is going to be an exciting match. Booth, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. I want to first off here tell everyone about my bias. I do. Team
boy.
Enigma. I know a few of them. So I'm gonna try to stay unbiased here, but just putting that out forward right now.
I can respect. At least you own your bias, and that's really
exactly
all that matters. So we'll go ahead and get this one going here. I mean, I would ask you for a prediction, but that seems pointless here.
Yeah, I'll leave that one up to you.
So I have to say, going in, we have that is the Zoomers, I believe.
Yes, the Zoomers.
The Zoomers taking on Team Enigma, and again, Zoomers are made up primarily of players from One Last Ride in the Discord tier, who's obviously had an incredible start to this season. And then in the Booty Sushi Curtain Smirk line, we see one member of Invictus, two members of Illusion, the affiliate teams. I mean, if we're basing everything on SR, which is stupid, you gotta think that the guys from Zoomers are the favorites here.
You definitely have to.
Oh!
But with that going said, Booty Sushi taking down right early, the Doomfist going in, but she's saying none of that, take this hammer to the face. And they do have a Mercy though. They need to try to block off this res here, but that Mercy's really going to be looking forward to make it an even fight here again. Although you can get a lot of damage out there with your Sigma, little hard to kind of out damage a Reaper.
Absolutely. We're going to be watching that Mercy very closely to see if they go for the res. Booty Sushi goes for an aggressive charge though. Oh, they got the res.
Yeah, very aggressive charge. They are able to get the res off for it. We do see trades coming both way though. Smirk going down. That's really going to hurt Team Enigma. Not much heals left here. Kurt dangling low. Sushi falling low. Kurt does get the pick though. It's the Reaper versus the Mercy. What could end up happening? Oh my god!
Oh no, Kurt!
Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
no.
Oh no!
You hate to see it, Kurt. You hate to see it.
Oh,
Oh.
Team Zoomers taking the first map there with the only Mercy kill of the night so far. But oh my
gosh,
goodness!
you hate to see it for Kurt, folks. Get your F's in the chat for Kurt. That is.
Yeah, let's respect for him.
We need to pay some respects. That's a rough way to go, guys. No doubt.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, you hate
That
to see it.
hitbox, man. You think it's just an easy little target sitting there. But that hitbox is so small.
No. Oh my goodness. Anyways, Kurt obviously has had an amazing season. Was ranked, I believe, second or third on the MVP Harmony tier, and also first projectile. So obviously making a huge impact
That's right.
this season.
Smirk also being up in those MVP rankings as well. So 2 pretty high MVP rankings. I think obviously that was a pretty close first point there. But now coming back into here, we see basically the same comp coming out here from Team Enigma. Are substituting the Sigma here for the Reinhardt, maybe expecting to use the accretion for a little bit of stuns, and we do see a Moira, Reaper, and Reinhardt on the side of Team Zoomers here. So pretty much a mirror comp in a way. A little more healing here on the side of Team Zoomers with the Moira. But right now, them having the high ground gives them a bit of an advantage. That gives that Sigma a lot of room here to throw down and try to get a little bit of ult charge.
All right. Right now, both teams are looking to gain an advantage here. Nobody's picking up anything right now, but I will say, one thing that the Zoomers have is a big old shiny laser on their side right now.
They do, and very close to the Shatter as well. Using that as an engagement to build up their other 2 ultimates here could be really big, but they do end up losing the Rhine Shield here pretty early. They are going to try to take out this Reaper going into the back line, and giving the Rhine enough time to charge the shield up here, they still have a bit of an advantage with that. We do see Coalescence coming out early now on the top here. Teams beat from Smirk, and Booty Sushi getting really close to the ultimate as well. They do stun the Reaper in the backline using all of his abilities to get away, but a massive charge coming in. Reinhardt coming in, shattering 1, 2, swinging through, 2 down, just 1 left on point, and although losing there by giving up points, Smirk was going to be dead there either way. So Team Zoomers going up 2-0 here.
So apparently some people are reporting some frame drops. I appreciate you guys letting me know that. My Streamlabs is reporting 0 frame drops right now. So it appears that there is some sort of Twitch issue right now. So I apologize, folks. I'm not sure why we're experiencing that. But we will do our best to try to get through it today. And hopefully it will improve as the night goes on. So.
Looks like Twitch trying to nerf the Overwatch Tranquility.
Yeah, it's been a rough few days for Twitch with the Tranquility community, let me tell you. So, yeah.
It has.
But anyway.
Well, we're seeing a bit, kind of a similar comp still here on the side of Team Enigma. They're getting real close here, but now they go to the Doomfist instead of the Reaper. But not much here to deal with the Pharah here on the side of Team Zoomers. And Kurt getting taken. No res here. Smirk on the Moira. That's going to be tough there for this Reinhardt to come in, and that Pharah is going to have free reign. And just punishing, coming right into him here. Oh,
it's looking rough here for the Enigma. You know, this is.
I believe in Booty Sushi. I believe.
I mean, you can believe all you want. There's a reason I pick against Booty Sushi every time he's in the predictions.
Oh. He doesn't even get a break in 3v3s,
nope,
does
no,
he?
he doesn't. I never give him a break.
Well, Team Zoomers taking the 3-0 there. We're seeing the Moira play the game. Decently dominant performance there. Kept trying to use that Reinhardt comp there with a little bit with either the Reaper or the Doomfist. Not doing too, but honestly, that game was a lot closer than it seemed there for a 3-0. Those first 2 points were really down to the wire.
As we like to say on the Iris podcast, it was a close 3-0.
It was a close 3-0.
So we are going to go to the next side of the bracket here. We're going to bring in Team We Nasty and Team One Trick and Door.
Hello, I've got the other match all set up for you guys.
All right.
That was a quick 3-0 coming out from Zoomers. Maybe we get that Boomers versus Zoomers final we were really hoping for.
It's looking more and more likely. The Boomers taking on the Zoomers is a distinct possibility here, folks. So that other lobby is getting set up right now, and I'm heading over there as we speak. But again, it's We Nasty, which is made up primarily of, or entirely actually, of members of Infamous Gaming from the Discord tier, and Team One Trick, which is actually kind of a mishmash. We have Alayla from Boop, the captain of Boop. We have Melts, formerly of the Jetpack Cats, now with Invictus, and we have Dark Link, currently a member of the Jetpack Cats. So
I think it's a lot of weight coming in on Alila to get another win for Boop.
yeah, Boop is on a run here, but Infamous Gaming also on Team We Nasty, looking to get going here and make a nice impact moving on. So, guys, I don't know if you're seeing those Twitch frame drops still. If you are, I apologize. We are trying to work through those as best we can here. If they continue, again, I do apologize. It appears to be a Twitch side issue. So we are working through it the best we can. But in the meantime, we got a match.
We do. Let's see what these players start for their initial picks. One thing that's worth noting, in the initial picks, there's a little bit more time. Every round after, there is not too much time to pick heroes.
You got to be decisive.
Pharmacy already coming out. You really do. You need to have a game plan before every round, because 5 seconds is not enough time to talk about it.
No, absolutely not. Melts comes in early with that Pharmacy, and he has was very impactful in the Harmony tier with that Pharah. We saw that a frequent sight to see in the featured matches and in the weekly players montage.
I think in this little meta we're seeing unfold on its own, the Pharah Mercy coming out really strong so far, and I think it's a great idea to try and pick it early, get your win with it, and then try and find the wins later creatively.
Layla on that Sombra, she is known so very well for looking to charge up an EMP, and an EMP would be debilitating in this game mode, without question.
Along with Meltz's barrage already at 65%, Alayla at 55% as Console Boy goes down on the Roadhog, getting hacked out of his heals.
Melts with some huge plays there, but he messes up his concussion blast. He almost gets punished for it, but Alayla was quick to bail Melts out there.
There's going to be a lot of pressure coming down. Now they don't have a tank to stand behind. All they can do is sit in this hallway. It doesn't seem like there's really anywhere to go like there is in the building on the opposite side of the map where you can kind of hide in that back room and force the pressure.
Alayla comes for the hack again on Soli. She is taken down with a sleep, but they can't finish him off. I think what we're watching right now primarily is Melts with that barrage. That's the crucial play here.
I think the question is, how does We Nasty get back into this game?
You know, they have that nano there, could be huge. They pop the nano. Oh, and
the Pharah goes down. Dark Link's gonna look to sneak in for the res here. Andy's gonna pull it off. Sully can't get to him right in time, and Melts is gonna come back up, but the Mercy might just die for it. But the hack coming down onto the Reaper from Sully is gonna be enough to close out the round.
Layla did a really good job there of drawing enough attention to allow Dark Link to get that res off, and that was what won them that round.
Darklink had a lot of patience sitting up there, allowing a lot of pressure to come down onto the Slumber, but it paid off.
Without question, definitely paid off. So we are going into round 2 here. The Pharmacy off the table. You have to wonder, are we going to see that signature Genji from Melts here?
3, 2,
It looks like it's going to be the Orisa Hog. So I think what Team One Trick's trying to do here is try and find those comps that offer them a very solid chance at winning, like this Orisa Hog, like the Pharah Mercy. And I'm interested to see what they try to do for to get their third round out, because they're starting to run out of these heroes that we've seen run so many times.
Console Boy gets picked off there with the Halt Hook, but it's a Roadhog, so he gets away.
And I believe this is We Nasty coming out with the same exact comp as they did last round. It's an interesting choice.
Reaper's a very wise choice here. The lack of shield tank, I think, puts them at a small disadvantage, especially with the Halt Hook combo. But we'll be watching that closely here as Dark Link and Melts look to combo together again here.
I think Team One Trick really needs to just be patient. If they can force the engagement on their shield, We Nasty doesn't really have any way to quickly engage. It's going to be a slow push, it's going to be grindy, and there's not too many options for them other than maybe finding a hook, but with the Orisa Halt Hook combo, it's almost guaranteed that they find it first. Team One Trick finds it first.
Right now, nobody's really connecting with much ult charge. Both teams playing fairly slow. Nobody's really taking a big step here. I think both teams just very cautious, not wanting to feed. you gotta figure maybe a little bit more aggression could pay off here, especially for Melts and Darklink. They haven't really tried much halt hooking.
I think one of the important things that we're going to see develop over the time is whether it's smarter to engage on the point against the Orisa or try and take the high ground from her. But the hook coming in onto Soli is not going to be enough to find the kill as it goes back down onto Melt. And Layla, and it's all starting to fall apart here for Team One Trick. And there it goes with Wee Nasty not even having to use their Orisa, and they're going to have it for this upcoming round.
They're in good shape right now without question here. Continue to see what they're going to be able to do. I'm not sure. Especially losing a Roadhog, I feel like it really makes you have to change your approach. Roadhog can get away with murder practically, so I'm not 100% sure here.
Yeah, we see the same composition come out from him, but the Pharah Mercy is going to have a heck of a time trying to pick them apart right now.
But if there's any comp that can handle a halt hook, it's a Pharah Mercy without question. So honestly, oh, and a Layla.
Oh my goodness, the early pick. Darklink's not gonna have any healing. He can just get poked down, rocket after rocket.
They need to get a halt hook combo off right now to try to even the score a little bit.
I think even then it absolutely has to be onto the Mercy, or else, like we were talking about, that res is gonna come out, and it's almost guaranteed.
And Darklink already brought down to about 25% health. Not goes for the halt.
Oh, the hook, not going to be enough. Zarissa just gets poked out, and Roadhog's going to live in these halls just for a little bit.
So it all comes down to Melts. Melts, the former frontrunner for the MVP award in the Harmony tier, now playing in the Discord tier. Gets the pick.
Oh, but the Mercy pick is going to get frozen by the Mei, and is it going to be enough? The heals coming in for Melts, popping up to 55% and half health, and gets frozen again, and quite frankly, it's not going to be enough.
I have to say,
up 2-1, Nasty, looking pretty strong right now.
Impressive play there from Wee Nasty. They took that, basically mitigated any benefit that Roadhog really had with that healing that he could have put off on his own, just with the CC that the Mei brought to the table.
I think they had a little bit of a compositional advantage with the Pharah Mercy into absolutely no hit scan from the side of Wee Nasty, but I think you have to pay attention to how much that first pick mattered onto a Layla on the Moira. That was an absolutely big play.
So right now, game point or match point here for Wee Nasty, looking to take this one here, and they're on the Bastion, and that's going to be a rough situation for Team One Trick to deal with here. They got to make really good use of that Baptiste in order to pull this off.
And because Wee Nasty was able to pull out so many wins without using too many of those key heroes, we see the Orisa, Baptiste, and the Bastion all being able to be played in the last round. This is going to be a hard one for Team One Trick to come back from.
And it looks like they're trying to set up some sort of crossfire here. They got Melts on a bit of a flank, trying to look for a window. Just trying to pump some damage into the shields, but really, that's all they're really accomplishing right now is just burning some shield down.
I think this one, I don't see too many ways for Team One Trick to engage on this. However, it will be forced whenever they have to drop down to point here.
They did break the shield there, and they brought Soli down to about half health, so it's definitely not impossible here for them to pull off a pick.
I think it puts a lot of weight on Demonic Green not to waste this this invulnerability field.
Yeah, both teams are going to need to make very good use of the invulnerability field, otherwise it's going to be a long run for the two of them. Melt's still trying to charge up that Dragon Strike. The Dragon Strike could be huge here.
Dragon Strike could be huge. The window also, though, being able to shred through Darkling's shield on point would be an absolutely huge advantage.
And there's the window coming out from
But the Dragon coming out from us, this is the perfect time to engage. Darkling, however, getting pulled, the shield getting worked on. They're going to push past it. The accretion coming in from the Sigma on Team One Trick. Soli trying to set himself up again. The Dragon wasn't quite enough, but Console Boy's shield going down, ready to pop it back up. Big halt coming in. Makes you wonder how much longer can Darkling's shield last. Melt just repeatedly peeking from this left side, and the Alayla going down. Looks like that's going to be it. Coming in for Wee Nasty, picking up that third point, managing to hold on to all their heroes and just picking off Darkling probably here.
Oh.
He's holding out for a while, and quite unfortunately, he won't be able to keep himself alive.
So Wee Nasty takes this round. They'll move on to the second round. Well played there from Wee Nasty. Good effort from Team One Trick there. I gotta say, the Bastion seems to definitely be a part of this meta. We're seeing the Halt Hook and the Farmer see both quite common. The Reaper, obviously, a very common pick here. It looks like, I mean, at the very minimum, we're seeing a decent amount of variance here.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a very Orisa-centric meta come up right now. As teams have to play around whether they want to play the Halt Hook, play the Roadhog on its own, or play it with the Bastion.
So right now the teams are going to be getting into another lobby here. We're bringing up the team with quite possibly my favorite name, and that is the Mix Renegades.
Yeah, just fantastic name.
Yeah.
Nothing against the jalapeno poppers. Love that as
No.
well. One of my favorite appetizers, but mixed renegades, that's pretty good.
Genuinely a fantastic name. So we will get this one going here. Jalapeno poppers, made up of members of the Holy Jalapenos, a new team this season, made a very, very good initial run here. And I think everybody's terrified of one particular player on that team, and that's Johnny Robot.
Yes. Very scared of him. They really made a great name for themselves coming in here. I remember talking with some of the other Harmony tier players at the beginning. People weren't knowing what to expect, and then all of a sudden, just like a couple weeks into the season, just came out of nowhere and started just wiping teams.
And then bringing up on the other side here, we have the Mix Renegades. Mix Ready, been a long-time member of the Tranquility community, with two newcomers in Jet and Kogarashi here. Obviously we have a mix there of Alt F4 and DDoS members, and actually former DDoS members in the case of Jet. He's now with the Aimbots. So again, a variety pack with the Mix Renegades.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a pretty interesting match to watch here. I'm wondering if both of these guys have been watching some of these previous matches and getting prepared, maybe to see all these shields, a lot of poke comps coming through. I was kind of expecting maybe a little more DPS-centric things, but already starting off here, we're going to go with the Orisa and the Hog with the Moira. Again, so we do have the Pharmacy early on. That's a little hard to push through some of those shields, but we've seen it work. But right off the bat, the Moira going down, and you don't want to see that early on.
Oh, but Kogarashi brought solo and taken down by Torb only. That's a huge pick right there for Jalapeno Poppers. Now, obviously, Mix Ready is still there and can get a pick, but another Halt Hook. Very effective right now from the Jalapeno Poppers.
Yeah, very effective. Blocking off that area again. They can really kind of block this Reg right here in the front. They have two stuns basically here against this Mercy. So this Hog's got to try to get through two shields here with this Orisa Hog, but they don't have any healing. So if they're able to, if Jet's able to get any damage in on them, that's not going to be healed up.
Yeah, you got to wonder if maybe it's a wise choice. They could just choose to play. Oh, they get the res off. Huge
wow,
play.
Amazing res.
But they get the Halt Hook again on him, but they don't kill him, and Jet takes down Torb only.
Jet's just going to step in here and push right into the team. Johnny Robot doing the best he can, getting a great hook, but going down here in the process. 1-0 coming here on the side of the Mix Renegades.
I think Kogarashi had a magnet on him because that hook was finding him every time.
Every time. Res him up, gets hooked. Jumps in the air, gets hooked
again.
That's the kind of Roadhog play I wish I can aspire to one day.
Yeah.
But I guess in this season, it's kind of cool to see a lot of Roadhog play coming in. Since we're getting stuck with these double shields, maybe hope to keep seeing some of these heroes we're not seeing in every match anymore.
It's nice. It's a bit refreshing. It's
a bit refreshing.
I still expect to see a boulder for some reason going over
exactly. I'm just waiting for a boulder and a May freeze. With that being said, though, we're seeing a pretty brawly comp here coming out. Trying to push in, and we do see Doomfist Moira Orisa. I don't know if we've really seen comp yet, not running the Hog with it, but they did lose the Hog last round there running it in Pharmacy.
If you notice, we have double healer Reinhardt, actually.
Which, not a bad move. They did lose the Pharmacy there from that first round, so they don't have to expect it. Orisa getting caught here into the back, but they are able to take out Mallet, really. They inside of John
Koga's down
climbing towards that Transcendence. But this Reinhardt's got to do a lot of damage, which he does, taking out the Doomfist, charging right into Jet on the Orisa, taking the other swing, and 1-1 now, tied up both sides here for Jalapeno Poppers and Mixed Ready
I
Gates.
love the creativity there, going the double healer. That was a smart move. I wonder if we'll see a triple healer today. I have a feeling we won't, but you never know. You never know. So
Never know. That was very smart of them though, because having the pharmacy locked out for them now, they knew they could play something pretty deathball and not be punished by a lot of that poke damage.
and they could even honestly run that into a bunker with how much healing is pouring into that Reinhardt. They could get away with that without too much problem. And now they become out with the far mercy of their own.
They are, and then we see the Brawly comp coming out on the other side. There's a lot of teams.
No, it's basically three-man goats. It's three-man goats.
Exactly. Oh, you know what? Kind of missed that a little bit. The Zarya getting caught out here a little bit on the side of Mixed Ready Gates here, booping the Ryan off on the side. They're a little bit split here. A lot of space here for this Pharah to take some damage. Torb only really pushing on the back line, just trying to be a nuisance for him, getting a little bit of damage and charging up some ults. Both teams here stabilizing though, going back here into our poke.
I don't know if Koga has a thing for the coroner, but he's been spending a lot of time in the graveyard today. So he needs to be watching himself a little bit there. You got a little too aggro on that Zarya.
Just a little bit, so it seemed there. And Torb only really putting a lot of pressure here on Koga. Coming on that Zarya, taking a lot of damage, but giving that Lucio a little bit of ult charge every time that happens. Hard to deal with the pharmacy there when your Zarya is to be the one pumping in the damage for him. With Mixed Ready going down real early though, oh, that's all the healing there on the side, and now John can just poke straight into their team here. The ball knocking them forward. Just going to be a delay here if this Pharah here can get a vault here early. It's really not looking good there on the side of Mixed Ready Gates.
Almost just a matter of time at this point for the Mixed Ready Gates. Unless they can get a miracle charge, which they don't. Koga, back to the graveyard for you.
Back in again. And Jet getting ready to go in there with everything he's got. But a little hard there to go against the pharmacy. That's a lot of boops coming in on him. And going down early. 2-1 here now on the side of Jalapeno Poppers. But this has been a really close one so far.
It has been. It has been. I think that, the Mixed Renegades are being very aggressive, which worked for them very nicely when they were running the pharmacy of their own. But it's hurting them a little bit on other comps. And I think they need to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more selective. Life is very valuable in this game mode, and it seems like it's hurting them a little bit. Well, if you're worried about dying, just become immortal.
If you're worried about that, just go bash it.
Yeah, and if you're worried about dying, just become immortal, and that's what
Exactly.
Mixed Ready's doing for you. So, oh, it's the Legos.
So although we don't have the Bastion over on the side of Jalapeno Poppers, still pretty similar comps here, both going for poke. Gonna have the advantage here with the Bastion. Just gonna be trying to shred into each other's shields here, and I think we're gonna have a long poke for here. That Halt Hook though, if they're able to get close enough and get above that shield, getting any pick would be massive for them in this comp, because that whole entire comp there really just revolves around the three of them staying alive and keeping that Bastion up.
And both teams just jockeying for position on the high ground. Not really getting a whole lot going. Jet gets picked off briefly, but needs to be healed immediately to full. And right now, it's going to be a slow one, I think, here, boys. Get your somebody put on,
Get your popcorn out.
Put on a cup of tea, guys. It's going to be a minute.
Yeah. Well, one thing that we should try to see here on the side of Mixed Ready Gates, if they can get a window up here early, that will just shred through anything that Jalapeno Poppers are able to do. And kind of going in here on the left side, trying to maybe force them over on a little bit, but again, not much really going to happen for this. This is probably going to be a brawl here to see who falls down the point first. Almost getting the halt on them, but with 30 seconds here, maybe we're going to see another rotate for them coming up to the high ground, but this is going to be a brawl here at the very end. And that Bastion having that high ground is sure going to be strong here for Jalapeno Poppers.
Worth noting,
or for Mixed Ready Gates.
Worth noting, Mallard has his window, and that's going to be a big critical piece here. Having that amplification matrix is going to be a big thing here for the Jalapeno Poppers to try to lock this one down.
And coming out early here, but their shield still gets melted early. Going so low on the side of Jalapeno. All of them still low as can be. And Koga going in. 1, 2, going towards taking it 3. 2-2 now, going to a 5th point now. And yeah, that Bastion ultimate, that'll do that to you.
That was an impressive play there. Both teams shooting at each other while in the in both the immortality field and the amplification matrix, which means lots of damage going in that is doing absolutely nothing. That was interesting to say the least. But now the bunker is off the table for the mixed renegades.
But open now on the side of Jalapeno Poppers, and we do see them pulling out there. Johnny Robot going over to the Bastion, but they do have a pretty brawly comp with the Reaper there and with the Reinhardt. Not a bad way to come counter that a little bit if they can take up their space and push into them early, but a really smart rotation now, trying to give that Bastion as much space as possible.
Jet right now is looking for a window to get in there. He gets, oh, he does not get halted off. He's going to have to get aggressive here because he's about to lose his shield. He does not go down. Koga.
Oh, going in early, forcing out the immortality. That's definitely pretty big here for them. They're very low. They got to wait for that Moira orb to come through again. But they do have, they're pretty close here. The Ryan trying to charge in. A good halt, though, stopping the charge. Really great job there from Torb only. And now they're going to have to hold off again and wait till they can heal Jet back up. You got to think Mixed Ready here is probably starting to lose a lot of his healing ability. But that being said, throwing out the Coalescence early, and that's the cue for Jet to go in. The immortality going up early, taken down quick. Jet does get the pick there on the healer. That's massive. But Johnny Robot just spreads through a whole team. And that's what happens when you don't have a shield. There's a Bastion sitting down there in turret form.
Everybody was critical at the end there, folks. Every single person was critical, and they somehow just barely held off for the Jalapeno Poppers there. As
that was pixel level of differences right there. One half step closer and one Rhine swing there could have been the difference. That was as close as they come.
Are there? Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Everybody was one. It was so close.
Oh, that was an awesome match though. Really good one. We starting to see that meta really coming into play here now, running those shields, pulling out the Bastion, getting your fire in, but a really entertaining one to watch.
The Jalapeno Poppers will advance to the next round, and we'll be bringing in the next lobby here now, and that is bringing up a team that just moved into the bracket today. That is Main Tanks 2, Electric Boogaloo, and Maelstrom. Very, very different team names. Wouldn't you say, Dor?
Yeah, it looks like we're all ready to get into this match after a riveting last match. Boy, what an ending for that one.
It was something. It was definitely, that ending was crazy. Literally the difference of 30 health at the very end there. It was surprising to say the least. So it's going to be interesting to see here. So we have Maelstrom, obviously, who's had an amazing start to this season. And we have the main tanks made up of NPC, Rocker, and Kuchikopi, 3 main tanks.
A whole lot of DPS coming out from both sides here. However, the Mercy being played without a Pharah is an interesting choice.
It's definitely not expected here, but you got to figure they are the main tanks, so maybe they just don't understand support combos. That very could be the case here.
That could be exactly it. But I think we're actually seeing, they may not have been watching the prior matches, or they're just looking for support picks here. We've been seeing how important they are, just how pertinent it is that you find the early pick on the support so you're able to work on everybody else's health bars. Big Hook finding in on the D.Va though. D-meching her, it's going to be tough for her to get that back. Going down very low, barely kept alive by Lucio.
I have to quickly make a comment. Who let the senior citizen on the field? I don't think I've ever seen him in a game before. Is that his name's Soldier 76? Oh, and he gets a pick on the mountain fall. Huge.
It might just be the right thing for all these Roadhogs we've been seeing, though. Maybe some shield break could be important. He's applying a lot of pressure with the Lucio, taking out the Mercy from Kucha. Copy. NPC all in his own, but he's got a healing field and his sights. Going in, finding 1 on the Mercy. Possibly 2 onto the D.Va here.
He's chasing him.
Chasing him all the way around the eyes of the cone. He finds him in the end there after a nice little game of Ring Around the Rosie. We're going to be seeing main tanks too, pulling off the round with an interesting little soldier pick being surprisingly enough to do it.
I mean, who knows what to expect here. The main tanks, Electric Boogaloo, looking to shake the meta up here. With NPC, everybody, the community contributor extraordinaire NPC, Rocker, team captain and main tank of Otaku, and Kuchikopi, main tank for the Undead Battery. Gotta say, interesting combos there, and now something a little bit more standard.
You know what, maybe the meta is just to not play the meta, give them a little surprise for the first round. Seemed to be enough there though. Although the Mercy's not going to be available, they're letting them push up real far with this Reinhardt. If this Reaper can get on top of the Arista from the Gisa, oh, and he won't be! A big 2-tap coming out from Mountain. Fail as NPC and Rocker all on their own to be picked apart now.
Ironic you called him Mountain Fail. It's Mountain Fall, but Mountain Fail made me giggle, so.
I apologize. I was looking at his name.
No, that's fine. Normally an off tank for Maelstrom, but obviously has some talent on that McCree. You see him take down Walker.
Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna be really hard to engage onto the flashbang and the Orisa shield. And quite frankly, it's really tough. Like we were talking about earlier, the Orisa is so strong, so immovable, unless you can really make an aggressive push onto her.
So poor Mountainfall there, actually, poor Mountainfall there getting called Mountain Fail, but still managing to come up big on that McCree, I have to say.
I'll say anything but, yeah.
So, 1-1 here. Both teams really haven't played anything extraordinarily meta. I guess we did see the Halt Hook last round, so I should take that back here.
Yeah, but Zenyatta, Doomfist, and Monkey, we're seeing a good bit of dive here. I'm excited to see what happens.
Zenyatta, Doomfist, Monkey. This is new, and we get to see NPC on support, which is it's a sight that really I don't wish on anyone sometimes. But I'm sorry, NPC.
I think a lot of weight's going to come on to, unfortunately for Mountainfall, it's going to come down to him again, whether you can find the pick onto the Zenyatta, but Zenyatta just chilling up at the high ground as the Winston and Doomfist just go to town on this Roadhog all alone.
Rocker looking great on this Doomfist, putting tons of pressure onto the Roadhog.
Mountainfall spent a whole lot of time on the high ground and a whole lot of time not killing things there, not helping out his Roadhog. His NPC turning the tables on the Tracer. Usually the Tracer running down the Zenyatta. The Zenyatta really wants this kill. NPC finds the headshot, showing him who's in charge right now.
NPC looking real strong there with a mild BM at the very end with that voice line over the dead body. But hey, you know, that's how these things go sometimes. Main tanks too, Electric Boogaloo in a situation to take Maelstrom down.
And I think we're seeing main tanks too, honestly just prevailing on these really weird comps, but you know what? If it's going to work for him, it's going to work for him. But we're seeing something a little bit more normal with the Reinhardt and the Reaper as well as the Moira trying to engage. And I think that might get thwarted here if the Mei can find a good wall.
Yep, the Mei is a great counter to what they're going to be facing here. So it'll be a struggle, I have to imagine, for main tanks too, to be able to to capitalize on this comp that they have and use it to the most effectiveness.
I think one thing we're seeing is a lot of the Reinhardts cuts him off, forcing him off the high ground. Moira putting in a decent amount of heals. The Mei, though, forced into the corner. If they can find the kill here, outside the invulnerability field, she steps out. Massive kill. The lamp's still up. Nagisa getting picked off, and that looks like it's gonna be it for the main tanks too. Unless the Sigma can do something magical.
Rocker swinging that hammer with the proficiency of the predecessor at Otaku Yojak, looking really strong right now on that Roadhog, getting great pocket there from NPC on that Moira, and Mountainfall is just fleeing for his life.
He does not want to die, but down goes the Reinhardt magnet, sucking him in, pinning him against the wall. That'll be it for main tanks 2, showing us a lot of interesting looks.
And main tanks 2, Electric Boogaloo, moving on to the next round. I'm honestly quite surprised. Team just formed today, and they've done really well. They'll have an interesting challenge in the next round, taking on the Jalapeno Poppers. But we'll have to wait and see how that one goes down. Just 2 more rounds left here, guys. The first round matchups. We have next Boomers taking on a team with an interesting name. I'm going to say interesting. Is that fine to say here, Booth? Interesting?
Interesting's okay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, interesting. It's Daddy Kink. So that's with Shadow Devil, Ivy Cat, and Asura. Variety of players from a variety of teams there. And we see, well, Shadow Devil X is not currently on a team. But Ivy Cat is on.
Acting as a coach for Illusion.
That's right. Ivy Cat is currently playing for Illusion, and Asura is actually playing on Invictus. And then Modern Lion, DE Bagel, and Cairo, also from One Last Ride. We saw another team of theirs earlier today.
Yeah, so another semi-Discord tier matchup here. We have, of course, the One Last Ride players, but then having 2 Illusion members, and then our 1 Invictus friend as well. Again, I'm going to let you just guess here. I think I'm a little biased again on who I want to see coming out on top here. But interesting to see, we have Asura and Shadow Devil X both being DPS players, so not really a tank player on their side. So maybe some wacky comps coming out. If it's gonna come from anyone, I would assume it to be them. But pulling out the Roadhog and the Reaper, not bad pick heroes to start with their Ivy Cat there on the Lucio.
Hard to argue with that comp there. It's definitely going to be looking to brawl. But speaking of looking to brawl, a no healer comp. First one of the night.
Is that our first one? That is our first
Coming
one.
out from the Boomers.
They are looking to put in damage and put it in quick. The Reinhardt blocking off a little bit of damage here. A bubble coming in. The Reaper pushing right into their team here, but going down early. That's going to happen when you've got a lot of damage coming out, but all of them so low. Any kind of damage here could do a bit. Shadow Deluxe having the healing going well. Getting 1, 2, but Cairo finishing him off with the lowest HP left. That was as close as they come there at the end.
Big plays from the Boomers on that one to barely win that out. Again, first no healer comp of the night. That's a bold move there from
crazy bold move
from the Boomers. I mean, they're Boomers, so maybe their memory is going.
That's awesome that they're able to do that too with such high damage on the other side as well, having a Reaper and having a Roadhog and be able to live through it. And now we see them running dive as well, pulling out the healer here, but we'll take it, pulling out the Monkey Tracer and the Moira, and then we have a double hit scan coming out here, maybe expecting the Pharmacy. That stun is going to be really good here against a lot of this dive comp.
Yep, it definitely was intended for a Pharmacy, you have to figure, but now they have the benefit of having that stun to be able to counteract this dive. So honestly, they're not in a bad spot here.
Not in a bad spot at all. This does open them up to a Pharmacy later on here, but still is a lot of damage for them. And I mean, a win's a win on some of these rounds. Running some of these weird comms trying to prepare for things, you don't know the other team's going to be running. And we see they're going down so low, and they lose 2. Asura taking a Modern Lion, Devagel falling. They did lose Ivy Cat, but they do have their Soldier 76 with that healing station. The Tracer left here. A little harder for Tracer to come to there on both hit scan heroes, so maybe Cairo can pull this off, but that's sure going to be difficult.
Gotta imagine it's going to be tough here to pull off to pull this one off for honestly for Cairo here. But you know, no healer, anything can happen. If he can avoid a flashbang and keep his recall up, it's not outside the realm. If he gets a 1 clip on one of them, which is really hard to do against what they have here, you never know.
Yeah, getting close to the pulse bomb as well. We are getting close to a high noon here on the side of Shadow Devil. But I like how they're staying split up here, because that was one of the big win condition there for Kyra, was getting a pulse bomb to take out too. Forcing out the healing station a little early on. The stun coming through, not connecting, recalling through, getting so close there on the pulse bomb, but they're gonna have to fall to point here in a second. Does fall to point with the pulse bomb, not connecting, and Asura finishing off Cairo, making it 1-1 here, going into our third point.
Really good strategy there from Cairo to try to draw that one out as much as he did. Unfortunately, just not quite able to pull it off. But big plays all around from both teams. Definitely Shadow Devil looking real good on that McCree there. But Asura on the Soldier. Soldier maybe having a place. Got to imagine it's got to be a bit of a surprise, honestly.
Oh, exactly. This has really been a surprising match so far. Haven't seen really anything meta that we've
and an Ashe.
assumed to be meta. Yeah, so that's our Genji, and we have a Doomfist coming out. Both heroes they specialize on, so maybe just playing with what they're comfortable with. We see the Soldier Ashe double hit scan, I guess maybe expecting the fire there with the Moira, so unconventional to say the least so far.
And both teams are kind of prepping for the exact same thing. Oh, Cairo gets a big kill on Shadow Devil. It's going to be tough now.
That's massive. Yeah, that's massive for them. They Ivy Cat going down so low, falling, the dynamite coming.
Oh, Cairo. Oh,
Cairo just punishing them. That dynamite, no shield to block that one. That's sure gonna be tough for them.
They did it to him.
Boomers, yeah, up 2-1 now, going into the third point here, and no pharmacies out either way yet. Maybe expecting it here, possibly.
Yeah, you got to imagine that's what they're expecting here. I would expect a pharmacy, and I would expect a counter pick. You know, yeah. And lo and behold, pharmacies both sides.
Coming out both sides. Shadow Deluxe on the Hanzo, though, giving him a little bit more poke, but if that Doomfist can get a pick there on Shadow Devil early on, really, I think that's just going to be the gameplay here. If one of the Faras can hit an early shot onto the other, or which DPS can pick off the other one quickest. And Doomfist going in, and there it is, taking out Shadow Devil early on. Going to be camping that res now on the side of Ivy Cat. That's going to be a hard one to get through. Pharaoh boops, Doomfist punches. That's going to be hard to res.
You got to imagine she's with the Pharah down. Now they're going to be camping that body. Oh, they're going for the res still, but they can't get it off.
Oh, unfortunate not getting the res off. And then Asura taking out Kyra now. It's Mercy. And Asura finishing yet again, getting the res in just in case. Going to 2-2 now, coming out to our 5th map here. And this, I don't know how to predict this one. This could go either way.
It definitely could. We did see the res coming at the very end there from Ivy Cat, but it was basically all Asura all the time with a dominant performance on that Pharah. Both teams really coming in. The Boomers versus Zoomers final is in jeopardy, folks. Can Daddy Kink pull it off here? We will see.
And both coming out here with kind of an Orisa comp, a little different each way. I do like that Ashe pick coming out. Getting that Dynamite over top of the shield is going to be a lot of poke damage against them. Have a lot more range here than their Reaper. They can really hold this ground a little bit. And we do see the Ana as well. Haven't seen too much Ana tonight yet. This is probably the only playtime Ana's going to get in the Tranquility match for a couple of weeks, you'd assume at least.
You gotta
But
imagine, yes.
both teams just kind of look like they're taking a bit of poke here. You gotta like in this poke phase though. You gotta like Daddy Kink here and taking the honor.
Huge pick.
No healing left now, and ooh, that was all of their range here. Besides the as well, they can just keep kiting them around point here and pumping in all of their damage. This Reaper's gonna have to try to flank on him, which looks like he's gonna teleport on the side, but it looks like they've spotted him and they're prepared for it.
Basically going to come down to whether or not Cairo can get a pick off here, and I don't know if he can. They have no heals. He needs to get a good pick without taking too much damage, and it's going to be really tough. And there goes DeBagel.
Oh. And 3 left here. Cairo half. If there is one hero on their team they would have liked to have made it through the end, definitely would be Cairo. Throwing down the early immortality though, maybe being able to get a pick, kind of pulled off on the side, but Cairo falling and Daddy Kink taking the win here, 3-2 against Boomers. No longer the Boomer Zoomer final we were all looking for,
Right.
but
well, we're shutting down the stream for
great.
the night, guys. Thanks for watching. We're all disappointed. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations to Daddy Kink on that one. Very well played. And Boomers, better luck in retirement, I suppose.
Great play of the game here from Asura, stopping the res there with concussion mine, killing 2. You knew he wanted the teabag there at the end. I'm very proud of him for not doing that.
All right, we go to our last match here of the first round, and that is Team Frick taking on the Swifter Sweepers. And Door bringing me over to that lobby now.
Gonna be inviting you here in a moment. Man, we've seen a lot of matches go to 5.
We have definitely. I don't know, it seems like a little bit of a surprise here, but at the same time there's just a lot of good talent in this Tranquility community for sure. We see Team Frick coming in here. Did you have to censor that, or was that just a choice?
No, that was a choice.
Aesthetic
that was
choice.
that was an executive decision.
Very well
by
played.
me.
Very well played. And then the Swifter Sweepers. Nice little combination here. We're gonna get the ball rolling. And we see Team Frick as, again, a combination of players from the Holy Jalapenos with Chimanzi and Needle, along with Mr. Trippy Cow, former member of of Boop. And then on the side for, I'm terrible with names all of a sudden. On the Swifter Sweepers, we see Dim Ryan, former MVP candidate for the Harmony tier, along with Bebop and Nebby of the Karos Pandas.
And we're back to a little bit of classic Orisa Hog stuff, but the soldier coming out from the side of Swifter Sweepers. See how much damage you can put down on that shield and maybe find something.
Dim Ryan has to do a good job of staying alive here in order to really get to where he needs to get. So you got to imagine that is going to be a critical piece here for the Swifter Sweepers if they're trying to pull this one off. Nebby taken very low, but he's not taken down. Needle putting some great damage into Nebby there.
Yeah, I think a lot of weight's coming down onto Bebop. On the Mercy, you gotta be healing a lot of stuff. Trying to get down enough damage on the shield with the damage boost and just juggling these 2 DPS, both trying to do the same thing right now.
All right, apologies there for the technical issue. I accidentally left it on that. Both teams right now, again, jockeying for position. We see the Hulk come in.
Oh, we find the kill.
Yeah.
Down onto Dim Ryan. The Hulk hook showing just how strong it can be. Will the res come in, though? They're gonna zone her right off of it. As Nebby tries to find something, but it doesn't look like something.
Oh, she's gonna get it!
Sneaks it in downstairs and pulls it off. The soldier now has to get off this high ground alive somehow. The Roadhog, however, applying a lot of pressure on the Nebby on the far as they're putting it all in on red here.
I have no idea how they allowed that to happen. Oh, and it's not going to matter.
Oh, there's the pick that they were looking for. A little bit longer, however, Dim Ryan falling off of the high ground, seemingly not on purpose, as Bebop having to chase him down now for that mistake will get picked.
And then we have one lonely soldier against an entirely overpowered comp. And I gotta wonder, is there any chance Dim Ryan can pull this off? My heart says, well, no, actually.
No, yeah, no, boasting. No.
It's pretty much done. Yes,
Sorry,
yeah.
Eddie.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I didn't really have any hope for him either. So, you know. So, anyways,
Sitting at like 60 years old, man's already retired.
he died about as quick as
he doesn't need that in his life.
He died about as quick as his MVP chances did this season. So, rough go for Dim Ryan there, but they look to rebound here in round 2. The Orisa Hog is off the table now for the team with Chimanzi, Needle, and Trippy Cow. So that's going to be interesting. Team
More
Frit.
Doomfist, though.
Doomfist.
I'm really liking seeing this. It's very exciting.
Doomfist is a lot of fun. Skilled Doomfists are incredible players to see. Usually, again, on the Holly Jalapenos, you're going to see Johnny Robot on that. So now we get to see a little bit of Chimanzi on that.
They're going to be holding on to the high ground here. Swifter Sweepers opting to go for the low ground as, pardon me, blue team goes ahead and engages, but not before Mr. Trippy Cow gets picked off, and they are lacking that shield. Doomfist punch comes in to pick off Chimanzi. They'll be cleaning up onto the Moira, who has no fade. However, living a little bit longer than you might expect. That's not going to be enough.
Nebby with the 3K there to close that one out for the Swifter Sweepers. I'm sorry, for Team Frick. Team Frick now ties it up 1-1 with the Swifter Sweepers.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing a lot of prevalence of how strong the slightly higher ground side can be, with not only just having a little bit more of a vantage point, but also that back room if you're running the Reinhardt to be able to go back into.
3, 2, 1, fight.
So Team Frick coming out now with the aggressive Brawly May Reinhardt comp, with Brawly comps actually from both sides, but Immortality at the hand of the Swifter Sweepers here, with Nebby on that back.
Both also being dropped.
Enemies here.
May trying to freeze him from above. They go for the drop. How big will this wall be, though, is the real question. And that's their big advantage. Cutting off the healing for just a little bit, but it's not going to be before he gets the invulnerability build out. Chimanzi slowly trying to push out Bebop and Dim Ryan, but this is when the May really falls off, is when that wall's on cooldown and the Reaper can just put in damage onto your Reinhardt shield. How long can he really last? Finding the pin onto Bebop, taking him very low, but not before Dim Ryan finds the pick onto Chimanzi. The May wall buying them just a bit of time to disengage, but you're starting to wonder now if the May is going to be able to clutch this out. It's going to be taking a big icicle or finding some sort of wall onto a single person.
You got to figure they got to get a pick on the Nebby. They almost do. Really good play, or really good shot there from Trippy Cow. Not quite picking off Nebby though.
Showing he's really a threat on the May.
Trippy Cow looking really good. Former main tank player for Boop. Currently looking for team. Let's see how he's able to pull off a big pick. He's definitely focusing that Baptiste. The Baptiste goes again dangerously low.
Constantly going to half, but the window is very important here. If they can use it properly, this Reinhardt Fire Strike could just one-shot either of these heroes.
Oh man, that would be
However,
satisfying.
Lessons coming up from Needle might just be able to pressure him down from high ground. And Swifter Sweepers doesn't really have a way to stop it if they can put in the damage, but no, it looks like they're going to be forced all the way down to point. And I'm not sure if they're going to use this Coalescence to...
They almost have a Blizzard. If Needle can survive long enough to get that Blizzard, they're going to be in prime shape here. I'm sorry.
All the pressure going down on Nebby, but the Reinhardt from Bebop forcing them back a little further.
He has the Blizzard. It's
Here
up.
it comes. But the Shatter denying him. Dim Ryan's going to get free picking, pardon me, onto the Moira and the May, both getting caught in that.
Prepare for battle.
Unfortunate there for Team Frick. Man, the right strategy though, you got to figure, trying to draw it out to use those ultimates, but they just did not get the value out of them that they wanted to get. They still have that comp on the table though, and right now you have to wonder, what are they going to come out with team and there it is, the Hog Hook.
1, fight.
Very strong comp we've seen. However, we saw the Ashe pop off last game, and I think we could see a bit of DPS prevalence start to leak in as these teams move away from what they've been playing in 6v6. start to get a little more comfortable with the 3v3 format, they might be looking for more support picks.
We're seeing a lot of people make aggressive plays trying to pick these DPS to really get some picks and make the big moves that they need to make in order to get to the top here. But right now, both teams just kind of feeling each other on the high ground. Shamanzi having trouble with his dynamite, hitting the center pillar twice, not really able to do anything with that. Really slowing down his ult charge too. Still only at 20% here.
We'll toss that one down to lack of map knowledge. It's kind of hard to know, you know, first time pillar in the middle of the map. You never really know about it, but a lot of shields coming up from both sides, and no halt hook to be found here yet. I'm not sure quite how long the Roadhog hook is, but I'm not sure that it can clear this entire gap right now. It might be wise for the Orisa sweepers to push up the right side.
Dim Ryan brought extremely low on that Ana, but he manages to stay
Still
alive.
extremely low, dropping lower, burning, and that'll be it. The mortar orb's enough to pick on him through the entirety of the shield. All the healing gone. They're gonna look to try and put some damage down on a Nebi and take him low before this point comes on.
Note to self, Moira orbs plus dynamite is a lot of damage.
It's not very interactive either.
No, and you don't need to worry about shields. Like, it's basically the perfect combo. Shamanzi with a big kill on the Nebi.
Shamanzi is going off. Once he learned that center pull was there, everything turned around.
Oh, so you can't throw dynamite through the pillar. Oh man.
That's it. But he will throw it right through the Roadhog body at the end of the match.
And team
Not going to be enough from the Orisa Hog in this comp that we thought was going to be so strong coming into it. Really is kind of to show a few cracks in its armor.
Team Frick right now going up against Swifter Sweepers, both at 2-2 here, and we'll see who is going to come out on top with this last round.
Another game to 5, man. These have been great. And Bebop on the Winston, trying to be a little independent from Nebi. He's going to have almost a duel with just Needle on the Ana. There's not much that Team Frick can do about this far.
Yeah, Bebop's going to have to be very cautious here on his engagements. Otherwise, he is going to get punished badly by that Mei. So Bebop has to be cautious here, but Nebi is in prime position really to just farm, honestly.
He really is, and with Team Frick taking that lower height side of the map that's just a little bit more open, a few more windows, a few less hallways to hide in, it makes it a lot easier for Nebi to push on this.
Nebi is putting a lot of damage in. Really, the only person to worry about it for them is Needle. So it's going to be really tough for, here for Team Frick to get the value that they're going to need in order to stop Swifter Sweepers here.
Yeah, it looks like Bebop not quite making his jump to punish Shamanzi for falling off that ledge, but again, they're still just forced in here. The Winston taking the high ground, threatening to shock them for a whole lot of charge if they decide to drop out.
Nebi, manages to get the Mei out, but Shamanzi goes to rescue the Mei.
As the entire team from Team Frick drops here, you're starting to wonder, is this when they engage? Is this when they push on the Winston before he gets ult? Before that Pharah barrage comes up, they've got to decide what they're going to do. There's not too much time left before a whole lot of ultimates come out from Team Frick.
You have a
here.
nano that's put onto Bebop. I'm sorry, they put onto Shamanzi.
But the barrage coming in from Nebi looks like it's going to be enough, as the damage from the Pharah is just so difficult to counter for Team Frick. And it looks like that one was just a little bit of unfortunate team comp picks. That one really could have gone either way, though.
Absolutely. No
outside
question.
of that.
No question. So Swifter Sweepers will be advancing to the next round. They'll take on Daddy Kink. But that is the end of our first round, folks. Exciting matches so far, agreed?
This has been really great. We're seeing a lot of teams come out and win that we didn't expect to win. We're seeing a lot of comps slowly changing, and really, like we were talking about earlier, the entire meta, I suppose, shifting overnight.
All right, we're going to be taking a short break here before round 2. We will be back in just about 1 minute, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We are here now for the next round of the Tranquility Community Overwatch 3v3 Lockout Elimination Tournament. That is a mouthful. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, Boop. I'm so sorry, Booth. I have to say, speaking of Boop, we have Boop in this next round.
Good playoff there. That was impressive.
Yes. Wow. Man, my transitions are as pro as can be, I'm afraid. So...
Spot on, an absolute pro. But Trace Videos versus Boop here. Starting into our second round now, we are switching over to Castillo for our map choice now. And that will follow us through here into this second round.
All right, so we are about to get going here with the Trace Videos. Again, Trace Videos, members of Invictus. I'm sorry, not Invictus, pardon me, Instalock. There's too many IN teams in the Discord tier.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that.
That's on you guys primarily. So this match is getting going here with members from Instalock, Lacuna, Frosty, and Silent Monkey taking on Bard, Race FPV, and Seraph from Boop. And we are on Castillo now, and I do love Castillo.
Yeah, maybe you're going to see some switches up here on some PS. We do see our Widow come out here on the side of Kuna, but we do see that pick coming out with there with the Baptiste, the Bastion, and the Orisa on the side of Boop. Going back to what they're comfortable with here, Zarya as the own tank. I don't know if we've really seen too much of that yet. Going to be hard to get a lot of damage in here with that shield. Boop taking a really good placement over here. But going to start with an early choke battle here. Frosty can really get a lot of energy and keep that build up here whenever they decide to push in. That Lucio speed Frosty straight in there, try to get some more, maybe try to get a pick there with Kuna.
I definitely like the play here, going with the bunker. Kuna obviously wanting to get back to one of his best comfort picks in that Widowmaker, making a huge impact in the Discord tier this season on that Widow, looking for picks around the shield, not finding them.
I like Frosty here, sending a lot of his Zarya right to get a little bit of the CSGO nade land, to get a little bit all, got all you gotta end up doing there. But seeing a little bit of a just poke battle here, maybe trying to get a Boop here from the side of Silent Monkey. This they might have an advantage here if they can keep some energy up whenever they force them to fall to point here. That would be one of their best times maybe to push in on them. But Kuna still trying to get these picks around these shields. Definitely possible. They do have Boop's taking a little bit of a better spot here, a little harder for Kuna to get picks now. But 25 seconds now. Gonna have to start falling to point here soon. Not really gonna be any ultimates coming out on either side, so really whoever's gonna have the best positioning or can get the first pick here should dominate this fight.
Frosty right now, constantly high energy, looking to get in there and get a lot of damage done. And again, that could be big right here for Instalock. Pardon me, that is Trace Videos. Having that damage on that Zarya, but his charge has fallen. You see the lamp come in.
The lamp does come in, not able to save Silent Monkey going down early here. Frosty though does get the pick there on the Race PV. That's massive. Healing going down from the Bastion, not in turret for take another pick, but Frosty shoots into the shield, ends up going down. Kuna's not able to touch, and Boop going up 1-0 here. Just an unfortunate mix in comps there on the side of Trace Videos. Just not really the comp to try to beat a bunker like that.
Not getting, it can't be the value they were hoping to get from that comp. But it's going to be a lot. You got to imagine Kuna might go back to that comfort pick here with the bunker off the table. You have to assume that's going back to Kuna here on that Widowmaker, trying to get some picks. And as I say that, they go to Halt Hook of their own.
They go back to the bunker. Seeing some comps we've seen a little today, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
For the viewers of the Iris podcast, they know that is top-notch ski for Yeti analysis there. So,
that's the caster's curse. Yes. We say one thing and immediately it has to change. The bunker though, Kuna, Frosty, Silent Monkey, going with the Moira, going with the Roadhog, going with the Orisa. We do have kind of a little death ball here on the side of Boop. They're a little bit far away right now than they probably want to be. Trying to use this map geometry to maybe get a little bit closer. Not really too much poke they can be doing to this. We're going to see Trace Videos just keep kiting around point here, trying to get as much damage in, build up ult charges, but not too much happening yet. Race PV maybe going to be able to get a coalescence decently early, but and Silent Monkey probably on the same here, but that's maybe going to be it for us. But Trace Videos falling to point now, an interesting choice, giving up the high ground here, but gonna maybe see if they get a better angle on a Halt Hook, so maybe not a bad choice in them at all. That's definitely their win condition coming in here. But it looks like it's just going to be a poke, let your Moira heal you, get coalescence quickly, and rinse and repeat.
right now. Teams are continuing to try to jockey for position here and get some ults up. Coalescence, I think, is a crucial ult. I would agree with that. Both teams getting darn close to it. Silent Monkey just behind Race FPV, though.
We're gonna have to see Boop maybe trying to get down on the bottom and try to use the middle of the map geometry point. That's going to be a lot of extra shielding for them, just kiting around that. We do see Trace Videos now throwing out. We Coalescence coming out both sides now, and Seraph's going to go right in with the charge. Not able to get any. Kuna getting the pick. No ultimates really either way. At the Reaper's pushing right in here on the side of Boop, but he gets hooked, goes down. Moira with no fade now, trying to do her best. Does take out Silent Monkey in the process, but not going to be enough. Trace Videos tying it back up 1-1 here, and that looked a little more similar than what we saw in our first round, compared to maybe a little bit on our first point.
All right, round 3 coming up now here. Both teams at 1. We have seen the bunkers kind of come out from both sides here. The Orisa is now off the table for both teams, so maybe a little bit more action coming in here now.
Yeah, we see pharmacies coming out both sides now. Seraph, though, on the McCree, that's going to be very good for them. They can really try to focus down this fair early. Bard almost going down right at the beginning. 2 great shots off Frosty there to get some picks, but not able to finish it off. Kuna there on the Reaper. It's going to basically be him trying to take off the McCree there on the other side of Boop. Whatever DPS here can go down first is really going to give their own team a massive advantage early on. Seraph definitely playing a little passive here, not trying to let that Reaper come up close to him. It looks like Trace Videos is going to regroup here on the side a little bit, get their a little bit more space, and Kuna falling into the middle of the point, taking a little bit of damage, but having then to fall back out there and let the Mercy heal up. So Boop seems to have a better positioning here. Having that McCree is really pushing them back here into this corner where they have to rely on their Mercy falling down and healing up some of that splash damage.
Frosty right now is putting himself dangerously close to a lot of environment. Oh, and a double tap!
And just like that! But
Silent Monkey.
My goodness, Bard taking out 2 now. Silent Monkey going for a very... And losing your Mercy, losing your Ferret, that's going to be hard to compete with there with a Pharmacy left on the other side. Kuna's going to try his best. Not going down yet, and as I say, it goes down. Just unfortunate there. A really good pick there on the Frosty early on, trying to force out the res. Boop taking advantage of it and going up 2-1 now.
All right, 3v3 tournament continuing here now. We do see Boop up 2-1. Again, Boop on after taking out in round 1, taking out Sunny D, which is made up of Vitamin C. Vitamin C being the team that is currently 7-0 in the Harmony, or sorry, 8-0 in the Harmony tier. It's impressive right now what we're seeing here from Boop. They're definitely putting on a show.
Yes, they are. They're doing a really great job. Now, seeing them pulling out the Soldier, that's definitely going to help here against the Pharmacy. With that being said, the Kuna coming right in, almost getting a pick there, just missing on the side. Soldier Bard going so low. Kuna finally able to finish him off. That far ultimate range here now. And
Kuna takes
falling off. Goes off the map on the side. Gonna be a little hard here for Sigma to hold in. Just gonna be able to spam him out here, hide in here and spawn, try to maybe get an accretion stun onto someone, but this is just a cat and mouse game here now. Pushing out, looking for the health pack. Health packs are disabled, my friend. I'm very sorry for that.
I'm afraid there's some bad news for you here, Sarah.
Yeah. I say GG go next, make it 2-2 here.
You just gotta, at a point, you just need to accept the loss.
I know, maybe practice your accretion throws here, try to hit the Pharah, you know, take advantage of a bad situation maybe. Yeah, the Pharmacy is really going to take damage. He's able to get out of spawn here now, going up towards the high ground, but it's really just a matter of time now before we see this ending. And yeah, there it is.
All right. Poor guy. Yeah. You hate to see it. I don't know if he was just trying to listen to that melody a little longer or what, but it just was not working for him.
Not at all. But 2-2 now. Trace Videos and Boop putting on quite a show so far here in the second round, and a lot of heroes off from both teams now. I really don't know which way this could be going here. But we do see a Bastion here on the side of Trace Videos. That's sure going to put him at a little bit of an advantage, you would think. We do have the Ana with the Reinhardt and the side of Boop. Trying to get a little closer into him. A little hard there with a Bastion spraying across from you. I am happy to say Frosty does have the Lego skin on the Bastion. I was looking for that. And having the Baptiste there again, running the Reinhardt because losing the Orisa there in the first point, I think, on the first map.
I just don't know how Boop's going to close the gap here.
No, that's going to be very difficult for them. This is a great spot they're holding. They can spray out a lot of damage. They have enough time to reposition if they see them coming bottom right. Great spot for Trace Fidios to be holding here.
Boop right now in a really rough spot. They're just trying to charge up some ults here. Race FPV trying to slowly but surely get that nano up, and that could make a big difference here, the nano boost. But honestly, I don't know if we're going to see much action here until we see that point unlock. You see
a very good sleep there.
That's a big...
Yeah, very good time for them to try to push in here. And the Bard pushes forward, but has to go out here early and receive healing again. It seems like they're a little bit split off here. The Reaper holding on the bottom, Ryan underneath as well. Ana here stuck behind the point on Boop. That high ground is really just going to be hard for them to take on. Repositioning now for Frosty, going to pump out a lot of damage. Ryan losing his shield. They do have this position here, and they're going to maybe try to jump on him when they force him down the point.
Race unfortunately missed both cooldowns there. That could have been critical in taking this one.
Oh, and Trace Video is able to rotate back to point. They do throw out the immortality. They saw Frosty getting low, wanted to make sure he stayed up. That could be pretty big here for the side of Boop. Not too much ground for him to cover here, but they're going to push this one straight down. Oh, a massive sleep. Seraph coming in, but a great counter charge there from Kuna, but they do anti here on Dakota. They're going to push him down early now. Everybody just spinning around the point, but Frosty's able to get back in the turret form here, but he goes down from Bard. Bard getting an insane pick for them, and they force him off the point.
And Boop takes an improbable victory.
I would have not have. I was not gonna pick Boop there, seeing how that comms came out. But Boop coming around, doing a great job, pushing him off the point and killing that Bastion. An amazing sleep race PV. I think that was the game winner there for him in that last point.
Without question, folks. Great play there from Boop. My goodness, well played there. Trace Fidios, a good show getting to this point, but Boop moves into the semifinals. They'll take on the winners of our next match, which door is prepping right now between Zoomers and We Nasty.
Yes, sir. And we have the lobby all set up for us to hop in. Just going to double check that the players are ready. Hopping in. Man, Boop really coming in, showing themselves this tournament. They should probably just be 3v3 mains.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 3v3 mains for Boop. It's really the way to go right now, apparently. So well played by Boop. They're doing a really good job here. And again, we're on Castillo. We see We Nasty, made up of members of Infius Gaming, and Zoomers, made up of members of One Last Ride. Both teams making an early impact here in the Tranquility community, but it is definitely exciting to see what they are going to bring to the table in this matchup. A tough matchup for both teams, though. Both teams, I believe, went 3-0 in their round. Actually, no, pardon me. It was 3-0 for the Zoomers, and it was a 3-2 win, I believe, for the We Nasty team. So I'm curious to see. This meta feels a little different on this map, no?
Yeah, I think the 3v3 meta really changes a lot based on whatever map they're playing, pardon me. But here, this high ground being so pertinent yet so open to be accessed from the low ground makes you question how strong those Orisa barriers are going to be here. Forestry Pipe, however, getting split from his team by a great punch from Overnight.
Overnight Coder again looking fantastic on that DPS as he has all season. Doomfist, very scary right there. But he is taking
going super low, and Console on a 1v1ing a Doomfist?
Console came up, massive play from Console Boy there.
And putting him to shame, and Soli's got all this high ground to work with. This could actually be a big deal if they can pressure down the Sigma shield.
And they got to put a lot of damage into that Sigma shield here, and Telm is not lowering it. So, and he just lowered it as I said that. Caster Curse.
Oh, the rock straight up. Will it find anybody? No, it finds the
just property damage.
Although, Console Boy splitting up from Soli. Can Telmicon realistically find a kill here on either of these heroes? They have both the healing field from Soli and all the healing coming out from the Ana.
Soli had to take a ride there and get the heck out. Ana is dangerously low right now. We're seeing aggression coming out from the Zoomers here.
The closer we get to this point unlocking, the more and more, the better and better this looks for Telmicon on attempt here.
Telecom with that barrier, or with the boulder, connects but doesn't cause a stun for some reason. It looked like there. Both teams extremely low, or both teams extremely. Oh boy, okay.
Solely forced to drop. Does he have the healing field? Console Boy, however, going to be the one getting targeted here, as the Moira and Sigma just get to pick him apart. Lacking that health pool, lacking the heals, it comes out.
Oh no, I did it again with the screen. God dang it. Oh my god, I promise you I'm not normally this scuffed. I am so sorry, folks.
It's alright, Skiefree.
Yep.
You're beautiful.
My apologies, folks. My apologies. So I will, that is a easy thing to forget here, and I apologize for that. So you missed a very, very great match where everybody died at the exact same time. I've never seen anything like it in Overwatch, and you'll never see it again. So
Except Zoomer's got the point.
except Zoomer's got the point. Don't worry about it. Apologies again, folks.
Not even a question. More Ashe, though.
The Ashe has been really surprisingly good, and it really handles it. Oh no!
Oh,
Overnight
no.
Coder, no!
What a sleep. No, they're not gonna.
Oh, there's
Okay,
the
the
hook.
hook will be enough, probably. No, but the Wraith form getting forced out, but it makes makes you feel like it was definitely worth it for that cooldown.
Overnight Coder. Oh, and he's taken down by
Oh,
Sully.
it doesn't matter. Solely taking him out with the headshot.
Great shot there from Sully.
Console Boy looking for the sleep on the flank, and he finds it, putting down the Bionade onto him, kept denying all the healing, as this Reinhardt is just going to be picked apart by the Roadhog.
Sorry,
and they can engage.
I had to take a look there because we had a bona fide Ana fight going on between Console Boy and Unkempt. It was just a party at the senior home there, boys and girls, and Console Boy comes out on top.
The supportal combat. Console Boy, big flank to get the sleep on the Reinhardt, and then continuing it. Balls to the walls against the Ana from Zoomers here.
So teams 1-1, We Nasty versus Zoomers. Both teams looking real strong here. Console Boy's Ana is very, very good.
Well, now it's locked out. We're going to see how good this Mercy is as Widows from both sides.
Overnight Coder!
Overnight, finding the pick on the Console, finding a headshot on the Oh my, I can't. the Orisa coming out from Zoomers. As they're going to set up the Orisa shield, and it's just going to be a field day for Solely. Or, pardon me, for Overnight.
I don't know how they can... Oh, Overnight Coder.
And he finds the other one on the sorcery. No heals, just getting the body shot him out. And Solely, Overnight, closing out the map, asserting his dominance over this entire server right now.
Where was that during the 1v1 is all I have to say. That was impressive from Overnight Coder. Huge plays there from Overnight Coder, showing us why a team like One Last Ride is really worth watching right now in that Discord tier. He is a force of a DPS player.
Really exciting stuff coming out from Zoomers, enumerating again on that 3-0 that they pulled off last round.
And Zoomers right now, they have that Pharah, but no Mercy Pocket for this one. And we see the bunker coming out with Soli, and they take down Pharah.
How on earth is Winston for Zoomers going to get in on this? The Ana heal is going to be almost definitely cut off by the shield if he ever tries to go in properly. And right there we see just how hard it is to push that with only a Winston against,
all right, Unkempt,
quite frankly, way too much.
You have a nearly impossible task, and
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Not gonna do it. We go to a point 5 match point here between We Nasty and the Zoomers.
We Nasty coming out to play though, showing they're not some pushovers, showing them that 3-2 doesn't mean anything from that last match.
Coder looking really good right now, obviously, but Console Boy and Soli, that whole team right now is looking fantastic. So really good work, obviously, from both teams. It's going to kind of be an injustice to see one of them going home right now. Both teams playing so well, without question. But we'll be watching right now Soli on that Sombra. That could be
We've got 2 DPS for the side of We Nasty.
You got to figure that Far Mercy is a bit of a favorite here. Overnight Coder on that Genji's going to have a hard time getting up and in there.
Yeah, Soli as well on the Sombra going to be bullying the Ana. Honestly, all 3 of them, great hack targets, great ways to charge EMP. However, Soli sitting in stealth for what might just be a little bit too long. Maybe looking for a big hack onto a Winston after he jumps. What the sleep onto
A
sorcery?
huge play from Unkempt with that sleep. Over, We Nasty is in a rough spot right now. I don't know how they're going to be able to get that res off for sure.
This has turned around all of a sudden. Console Boy, no way to get on top of that. Unkempt just sitting on top of the far body. Here comes the dive in. Onto the Mercy's got nowhere to go but the edge of the map.
He goes.
As We Nasty is completely split up. Summer's gonna come in, try and 1v1 the Genji, but not before the Winston can jump on top of her.
And as in life, the Zoomers have won again. I don't know, is that a life thing? But no, Zoomers with a huge play. Honestly, Unkempt there came up massive here. Game-winning sleep. But Overnight Coder's Widowmaker, my goodness.
This was something to see.
Great shots here.
Shame we didn't get to see that initial kill, but nonetheless, cleaning up everything and anything in his sight.
So clean, Overnight Coder. Well done. Zoomers will go on to take on Boop in the next round, and the Jalapeno Poppers and the main tanks too, Electric Boogaloo, are next. And
That's right. I'm very happy I get to say Boogaloo now. I was kind of sad when I saw the name on the list and that I wasn't in that one. But here we are, though. The main tank trio here coming in. And then Jalapeno Poppers, though, not going to be an easy pushover here.
No.
This is gonna be a fun one.
without question, it's going to be a lot of fun here. I am excited to see if main tanks 2 could pull this off, and we see Modern Lion now stepping in here for the main tanks. God, it's Modern Lion. It's a nice pickup there. Modern Lion is a great main tank we've seen on One Last Ride.
Yes, definitely. One Last Ride showing how strong they were there on that last as well. But maybe going to see some funky comps coming out here again on tanks. We'll see. But starting off here, using their Mercy with NPC there on the Soldier, pocketing the DPS for the win. Modern Lion there on the Reinhardt. And double healer on the side of Jalapeno Poppers again, running the Moira, the Lucio with the Reinhardt as well. So a lot of space here for NPC to try to get some damage in. But you gotta expect Jalapeno Poppers is going to be coming in guns a-blazing as they rush right up into the team already. But Mallard going down early in this fight. A big charge coming through, taking out Kuchikop early. That's all the heals gone now on the side of main tanks too. And this is just a brawl coming through. Torb only getting the big pick. It's Moira versus Soldier left here. Who's gonna win? NPC's getting low.
Oh.
That Moira is so hard to 1v1, and that was a fun one to start off with.
NPC not able to take out Johnny Robot on his signature Moira. No, that's
Signature.
not it. That's not it. Good effort there from NPC and main tanks too, but not able to take down the Poppers on that first point. First point goes to the Jalapeno Poppers, but they are locked out of that Moira.
That's right, locked out of the Moira and out of the Lucio. Probably going with the Pharmacy, and they are going to start with the Pharmacy here with the Hammond. And a similar comp coming out here on the side of main tanks too, except using the Roadhog here instead of the Reinhardt. I do like that. Not having the shield might hurt them a little bit, but they do have a lot more damage here to put into this fire, and that hook into the ball would be massive. As they get a hook off early here on Torb only, he's gonna have to retreat for a little bit of heals, and Johnny Robot going so low, and Modern Lion finishing him off, and then throwing in another hook there from Modern Lion, getting the Mercy, going for the res, but she's also gonna go down. Torb only, the only one left here, and main tanks too.
You gotta ask. Johnny Robot made a really aggressive positional play there, and you gotta ask if it was worth it.
I don't think it was there, as main tanks 2 taking that one perfect. 3 kills, 0 deaths. 1-1 now, going on to our third match here, and this has been an interesting one so far. No bunkers yet. I don't want to eat my words.
Yeah, no, I'm expecting.
I feel like I'm gonna eat my words
from both sides. I'm expecting bunker now that you said that. So
exactly.
Oh, I mean,
wait, if we say we don't expect bunkers, maybe then they won't do it.
No, I don't know. I think we can't offset a crash or curse after it's. Hey, there's no bunkers.
There's no bunkers.
Did you see the Pharmacy again for the Jalapeno Poppers though?
Not too much on the side of main tanks 2 to deal with that. NPC though, having the Discord could really make it easy here for Modern Lion to maybe get a little bit of poke here if one of these two on the Pharmacy gets low enough for a punch. Torb only again on the ball, really liking this pick here. Gonna try to disrupt them, maybe make a little bit of space for their Pharah. And both teams just trying to get some better positioning up top now. Torb only taking a little bit of damage here in the back, really putting a lot of pressure on NPC, and he goes down early.
That's a
tanks 2 out.
There goes the main source of damage onto the Pharah. Johnny Robot could have free reign right now on that Pharah.
And it looks like he has Kuchikov going down early, but hey, a big pick there from Modern Lion, taking out Mallard early on. But Modern Lion so low, and oh, almost does it. The fair though, getting the last kill, taking each other out at the end. The lone surviving bull
That was fantastic.
being the difference maker.
Well played there. Well played. So main tanks on their last legs here. Yeah, I don't know where they're going to be able to go here. They got a tough situation for them, guys.
You know what? I believe we've seen some great comps out of him here early on. They don't have to worry about the fire as much, but they do have to worry about a bunker. And having the Doomfist is really nice into that. Maybe trying to get a pick there onto the Baptiste if they can. And both teams getting real close to each other. A big Hulk coming in on the side of Torb only and taking out NPC early is definitely going to hinder their ability there on the side of main
They
tanks
need
too.
a big pick right now, and that is not the side that needed
that's
the
not
big
gonna
pick.
come. Oh, well, Modern Lion, you gotta, buddy.
You're gonna have-
Hopefully, you can try to go in here.
I don't know if he's Simba or not, but oh boy, he went full Mufasa instead. You know, unfortunate. Main Tanks 2, a very good show for them this tournament, but they could not pull through, and the Jalapeno Poppers go to the semifinals.
Pretty dominant there. Main Tanks 2 definitely showing really good play there, but they just seem to have the right comp pick every time. And Modern Lion here on this play just doing an amazing job there on the Roadhog, stopping the res, getting the initial pick. That's really great play there overall. Fun match there, and we're going to see the Jalapeno Poppers moving on to the semifinals.
All right, our next round here is going to be Daddy Kink taking on the Swifter Sweepers. Definitely an exciting matchup here. Both teams obviously playing really, really well in the last match, getting to this point. Shadow Devil's DPS, without question, is incredibly strong, but we do see Dim Ryan with the Swifter Sweepers. Again, Dim Ryan, former frontrunner, you have to figure, for the MVP in the Harmony tier, and the remainder of the team also currently playing for the Careless Pandas. It's an exciting matchup here between these teams, but do you have a favorite?
Absolutely. I really think I got to give the Swifter Sweepers a little bit of an edge here. All three of them, Dim Ryan, Nebby, and Bebop, managed to make huge plays when we were playing on Eco Points Antarctica, and I'd love to see them do the same thing on Castillo.
All right, we are going to go ahead and get this thing started here. Teams are getting ready and set, and it looks like they are going here. So let's go ahead and get this match going. On the Daddy King side, we do have, obviously, one name that sticks out to me is Ivy Cat, two-time All-Star in the Tranquility community, and that's definitely a big impact there. A very strong support player for that team. Could be, honestly, a critical piece for their success here.
You know, from my end, as far as names that stick out, Daddy King's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah, it's going to be a
whole lot of DPS coming out.
What is?
Oh my goodness.
Is that a triple sniper comp we're seeing here?
Swifter Sweepers, how dare you give us such a treat to watch.
The gall of all of this is actually incredible. See the dynamite up and over the top. Does it connect with anybody? It does not.
There's almost not a worse comp for them to be playing into, though, than the Genji Doomfist.
At the same time, while they can close out on them, look at the crossfire they've built here. They have control over
They own this high ground.
They have control over 3/4 of the map.
Oh, but Dim Ryan doesn't know. Shadow Devil's coming up on him. Sneaks up. Oh, he finds it.
Oh, missed.
Getting away absolutely scot-free.
Big play there from Shadow Devil on that Doomfist. And oh, he takes out Bebop as well. Now just looking for the Hanzo, and Hanzo has 1 HP.
Just picked apart. Shadow Devil looking like 007 Doomfist over here.
Prepare for battle.
Shadow Devil had no clue what was hitting him.
All right.
And let's see what these teams are going to be picking coming into the next round. The triple DPS not quite working out. However, maybe they'll mix some tanks, maybe possibly a support into their comps. It looks like, yes, both teams are going to be rolling on with something just a little more standard. But the Reaper and Roadhog, you can't help but feel, are going to have a massive advantage on this Winston, as he might just get picked here already. Bebop jumping out into safety to be picked up by Dim Ryan, but it's not enough. As Asura pressures him down and Bebop goes down, and Nebby left to do all of the work with Dim Ryan to support him.
Right now, looks like Daddy King is in a premium position here, but they do get the res off, and that's huge, actually. With Ivy Cat already at half health, she is one direct rocket away from death here.
That's a lot of that power of the Mercy in the 3v3s, though, is the power to just, at any point in the game, if the hook comes out, the CC comes out from one team, you're able to really get it back for free.
All right, both teams right now jockeying for position here. The res being critical to the success. We see a hook come in.
Getting hooked. His jump's on cooldown. Asura going to being able to close out that kill along with Shadow Devil Rex.
Looking to try to.
Oh, another big hook.
And a
Goodness gracious, and Dim Ryan will not get that one off, that's for sure.
0-2.
All right, now
Prepare for
premium position here for Daddy Kink.
Select
They're
your
the
hero.
they're 1 point away from moving on to the next round.
I think the sweepers here are getting a little punished for running that triple DPS comp they were doing earlier.
I mean, I like the idea of running that triple sniper, but they just did not spot out that Doomfist, and Shadow Devil is effectively hard carrying that team on that with that DPS choice there.
And we've seen this comp a couple of times. The Mercy Clara along with the Soldier being relatively strong. The Mercy being able to support both of these DPS.
Oh,
the
and
Soldier having a
Nebby's
little bit of- and he
already
picks off
down.
Nebby. This is going to be a tough one. Asura can just keep them in this corner pressured for as long as the Reinhardt shield stays up. But Shadow Devil getting damage boosted, putting in so much damage onto the Reinhardt. Asura finds one more on the Soldier and Bebop charges in, but to no avail. A big 3-0 for Daddy Kink.
Yeah, Daddy Kink looking very good right now. And they move on to the next round, take on the Jalapeno Poppers. We are going to be heading to another short break here, guys. We will be back in just about 30 seconds here with your semifinals. The semifinals bring about a couple of rule changes, but we'll touch on that when we get there. Again, Daddy Kink moving to the next round. We'll be back in just a moment. welcome back everybody to the semifinals of the Overwatch Tranquility Community 3v3 Lockout Elimination Tournament. We are now to Boop versus the Zoomers, and Jalapeno Poppers will take on Daddy Kink in the next round. But Boop and Zoomers now. Booth, what do you think here? Can Boop continue the unlikely run?
I'm sure pulling for it. Nothing against Zoomers, but it has sure been fun to watch Boot play. Not remember even first map we were thinking this could be maybe not the strongest thing for Boot, but they have just keep second guessing us, coming back again, doing great, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
It's going to be a lot of fun here, guys, seeing this one come out. Again, these next maps here are best 2 out of 3. So we are on Ayutthaya to start, but we will then go to a lobby where the team that lost will pick another match to play, and we will play a second map. It is, again, best 2 of 3. So we'll see these teams go at it for 2 straight rounds. We see the bunker coming out from Booth, and we see the Sigma. We haven't seen much Sim today.
We have not. That is definitely not a bad pick against some of these shields with these bunkers. Interested to see if they can get close enough to pump out some real damage with that. Using their Mercy here as well, kind of giving up on the idea of a pharmacy maybe, but maybe a predetermined strat for them. A pretty interesting choice. They are trying to close as much distance as they can here. You see Race PV sitting up top, trying to hold as much healing as possible, but they pulled down Unkempt. That's the Symmetra. Throwing the TP and going right into him right away. No, the fake TP trying to get a little damage in. Not doing well, but a big pull. Taking them out here into the front again. This is a really good chance here for Boop to reset back up maybe. Missing the accretion here, kind of maybe trying to push in a little bit. Throwing their teleporter down, not doing much again. A poke battle, but probably a little bit closer of a poke battle than Boop would probably like to have here with Zoomers. And we see them going right in on him. The accretion, stunning the Bastion, forcing out the immortality early on. And now we see the Bastion going down. Overnight just getting so high charge there with that Mercy damage boost. Taking down 1, 2, going for the Ariza, 3! And Zoomers taking over here on our first match, up 1-0 now.
Hi, Jeff Kaplan. This is Ski Free Yeti. Can you please nerf Symmetra? Thank you. Just wanted to ask. Thank you.
Just wanted to see if he was listening.
Yeah, I don't know if he's watching. I don't know if he's listening, but Daddy, if you could please fix that, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, as both of us being tank players, it's probably my biggest hatred right now.
Absolutely. One thing about Ayutthaya is it's a long run to the first point here, to the point of meeting, so the teams kind of get to build up a little bit. We get to see different approach strategies, different ideas on how you can flank out, you can go in all together. Right now we are seeing kind of a flanking out strategy here from the side of the Zoomers.
Yeah, Boop dropping the bunker there, going into that Rhine Reaper Lucio. They do have a Pharah here on the side of Zoomers. That's going to be nice. They don't have tons of support without the Mercy, but no hit scan on the side of Boop. She could give the Pharah a little bit of space here. The Ana, obviously showing off earlier, definitely strong enough to hit some pretty insane sleeps, and I'm sure she'll be able to heal the fire up in the air. So Zoomers just trying to get some damage early on here. Boop trying to rotate, trying to find a good place to initiate at. They need to be careful of that corner. Farah there with the concussion blast, trying to boop them off. Missing there at the end, but continuing to get damage in here into Boop and trying to charge a bolt as quick as possible here.
Right now, Overnight Coder putting a ton of damage in, but at the same time, he has not charged up a ton of ult, as you expect here, because that shield from Seraph has done a lot of absorption there on that damage. Bard right now trying to charge up his ult as well, not really getting much going there.
I like Zoomers coming up and taking a more of an aggressive hold here. Boop was getting a lot of space just to chill in the back, take a little bit of damage, try to build up some ult, heal up, but now they're really forcing him to try to engage here. Race PV going down very low there at the end. They're going to have to back out now, and now it's going to be a brawl here at the end of the point. And a sleep dart coming through. We do see Seraph charging right in, but he was ready there with the Fortify, taking down 2. Tell him JC can. And just the Lucio left, and he's going to die on point. A little hard to avoid the Pharah splash damage there when you're wall riding this Lucio.
Both teams right now looking real strong, but Boop unfortunately coming up short right now against the Zoomers. Zoomers in a prime position now to take this one to the take this one and take this first map again, best of 3 in this round. Going to be interesting to see what happens here, folks.
So a Divish comp coming out on the side of Zoomers now, Fist Moyer and the Winston. That's going to scare the Winston when he dives in that first time and sees Bard there on the Reaper. Not the thing you want to normally see right off the bat. Still keeping a little bit of a death volley comp here. That Reaper adding so much advantage there with the anti-dive, but trying to see if Overnight Coder can maybe get a pick here on the Doomfist. Scouting a bit on the top. And going to go right in and off!
Oh,
Bard!
no, Bard.
No, what a punch. Race PV trying to make it through. Just the Reinhardt left, and they're going to push right into him. Trying to get the lucky charge, but Zoomers taking the first here in our best of 3 on a 3-0.
So now Boop will get a map pick here to decide next round. An Overnight Coder on that sim. This was a great play here from Overnight Coder. Takes out the lamp on his own. Takes out the Bastion pretty much on his own.
Doesn't need to reload and just decides to go right in.
Good. That is pretty much a straight 1v3, folks.
Good job there from them. It looks like Boop has selected Castillo as the map choice there. Again, doing really well on Castillo there for that last map. And maybe just trying to think that holds them a little better. They did seem a little out of place there. This map not really finding a comp that suited them properly yet. But looking strong in Castillo as well. Maybe a really good chance for them here.
I think it's a good choice here for Boop to go to Castillo. Gives them a lot of, honestly, it puts a little bit more on the table. And with that shorter approach, it's a lot more random. They can kind of get away with some potential mistakes that they might be making just based on, I mean, I don't want to say skill level, but like compare the two, we're talking about Masters level players. And it's a shock to me that they put on as well of performances they have up against this level of talent. So you've got to give credit where credit's due, but you have to figure the close quarters definitely favors Boop a lot more than those long spread out maps.
Yeah, I've seen just the dominant Widow performance earlier. The Ana doing great on the side of Zoomers. I do like the pick here, the side of Boop. And they're going to start off with the bunker that they've had pretty good success with. And we see a Sigma, Doomfist, and a Moira on the side of Zoomers. Sigma, Doomfist. Something you'll see in your comp matches and in some Tranquility featured matches. Haven't really seen that combo much here in the 3v3s yet. But maybe some really good combos they can do with the accretion and the punch here.
Overnight Coder was brought down to 1, but they weren't able to finish him off. With pouring damage into that Sigma shield, trying to take it down just a little bit. Oh, really aggressive play from Bard. Oh, but oh no, Bard.
Oh, maybe just not realizing where he was on the bridge there. Oh, very unfortunate. Overnight Coder cleaning up, getting the 3K there at the end, and maybe just a misstep there from Bard. But unfortunate. Boop did look strong there with their positioning. Maybe think they're going to go back to that bunker again. Definitely seemed to be more comfortable on it.
Definitely did. Boop looks, or I'm sorry, Zoomers look incredible, and Overnight Coder is putting on a clinic tonight. This is definitely his showcase, and he is showing off in a massive way right now for that team.
Sure scaring me. I think we play them in about a couple of weeks here.
Yeah,
so.
there you go.
We see the Pharmacy coming out now on the side of Zoomers, running the Orisa. Overnight Coder going to try to get a lot of damage. And Seraph, though, coming over from a Creed, that's definitely going to help. Running the Ana with the Reinhardt here, but the Ana gets booped over to the side. And McCree's able to peel over here a little bit for them. They're able to look like to stabilize, but got to be careful there on the side of Boop. Any little concussion blast there, Overnight Coder can really split their team apart.
It's a tough situation here for Boop. They're in rough shape. Tough comp for them to deal with. At the same time, they do have a nice comp that could counter it. But that Orisa is going to be able to be so tough to be able to displace. They're not going to be able to really do anything to it. At the same time as that Pharmacy just raining in tons of damage. They're in such a good spot here. Oh.
Yeah, very good spot for them. Far going a little bit low there, taking a shot, but healed right back up there. That Orisa sitting on point, this is just almost like a distraction. It's annoying. You got to keep your shield up because of the damage coming in there, but then you have rockets coming from the top. Zoomers doing a great job just trying to split a lot of this damage.
Race FPV taking dangerously low there, has to use his biotic grenade in order to heal himself up, and 30 seconds till the points unlocked. They're going to have to get aggressive fairly quick to try to take on this Pharmacy. They just haven't had a chance to do that. Sarah.
We do have the Valkyrie, though, coming up on the side of Zoomers, and 2 ultimates almost up here on the side of Boop. Getting the nano boost here, maybe giving the Rhine enough damage to eat through this Orisa here. And if Seraph can get up the high noon, that would be massive for them. He is Boop down, though, so they throw out the nano boost early on.
Oh, and a big purple, actually, from Race FPV.
Oh, there looks Zoomers are getting low, but they're able to get healed back up here just a little bit. About to get the fair ultimate coming through, but Seraph throwing out the high noon gets one, but not enough to finish. Overnight Coder taking out 2 with him into the afterlife, and Zoomers up 2-0 here. That was definitely a close one. Boop did a really great job being at a disadvantage comp-wise there, but still keeping that one very competitive.
You know, even with 2 hit scans there, it was so rough to deal with that Orisa. They couldn't ever really peek out. You know, they didn't have, they just could not really put any pressure on that Pharah the entire time just because of really expert positioning. So it just made no difference what they had, what kind of comp they had there. They needed to play something a little bit more aggressive. And right now we do see a Far Mercy and a McCree for Boop.
Bard almost taking 2 off the map early. Boop here at a definite advantage here. Overnight Coder not going to be able to do too much here on the Symmetra. Maybe trying to push Seraph out early. And with that being said, Bard getting the first pick, and Seraph taking Overnight Coder now. Just the Reinhardt left. Charges Seraph, but there's still a pharmacy here, and they still have a res. Hopefully this should be enough here now for Boop to come through. Race PV giving us a little bit of a hard. Maybe trying to punch the Rhino out.
Like, Race, what you doing? Why you doing that?
He saw that kill earlier back in that first round with the Mercy onto the Reaper, and he was like, I must continue.
Tell him he's in a rough spot, a no-win situation there, and Boop stays alive.
Yeah, the Pharmacy being the right call there. We saw a lot of success with Zoomers on the Symmetra, but left them wide open to that poke damage there from the skies. And Boop, doing a great job there, bringing us back now to 1-2 here. Still match point here for Zoomers, but Boop having a real swing there on that last match.
Without question, Boop looked real good there. They needed that one very badly, and a mirror match comes up.
There we go.
This is one of our first ones.
Yeah, I don't think I've casted a mirror at least. So looks both teams gonna be running right into each other. Whoever gets be massive for them. We're gonna see how much ult charge these Reinhardts can get off these early pokes here. But this first team to step into this death room, we're gonna call it, is gonna be crazy. Bard looks like he's going to take that ground. He's going to let his team push up in advance, which forced a bit around and forcing him off the high ground. Good job there by Bard to really take the positioning.
And they took the high ground away. They now have a positional advantage. Unkempt put a little bit of damage into Bard. At the same time, in situations like this, the question I always have is, how can you isolate somebody out on their team? And right now, it doesn't look like either team has been able to isolate each other at all. I feel like it's going to be a race to see who can collect ults quicker. Particularly watching that Ana right now, because that nano boost is critical.
Yeah, it looks like these Reapers are kind of what's driving a lot of these fights start to get a little aggressive here because they have the abilities to be able to get out of harm's way. And Boop now coming back to the high ground again, maybe trying to keep poking through a bit. Pretty about as even as they come with ult charges here, but a big sleep from Race PV and a massive anti-hitting. They do get a counter charge to take off Seraph early and Race PV.
Oh my goodness, what a turnaround for the Zoomers there. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I don't believe
a massive charge.
Wow. What a turnaround for the Zoomers.
Yeah, fantastic job there from Zoomers here at the end. Boop landed a massive anti-nade, but just weren't able to quickly. Zoomers just responding instantly. Oh, here's that play coming in from Telm, and watch this.
Grenade.
Oh, just fantastic. I think it was the sleep there from Unkempt that stopped that Rhine charge from coming in. And that was the difference maker there at the end.
Tough situation there. The sleep pretty much won that for them, combined with that really aggressive play there. And into the finals goes the Zoomers. So congratulations, Boop. A hell of a run to get to this point. But Zoomers go on to the finals. They'll be taking on the winners of our next match, the Jalapeno Poppers and Daddy Kink. And now I'm joined by Door.
Boy, oh boy, is this going to be a match, though. Jalapeno Poppers and Daddy King both coming in pretty strong last round. Daddy King taking the 3-0 on, I believe it was the Swifter Sweepers, who were looking really hot in the first round.
Without question, I would definitely agree with that. Swifters, that was a really good match there from Daddy Kink to get to this point here, and the Jalapeno Poppers looking really strong as well. It'll be interesting to see which of these teams manages to come up on top. So right now, I am just waiting to get into the lobby, and then once I get into there, we should be good to go.
We're getting you in here in just a moment.
All right, perfect. Semi-final match is on. We are going to... we should be on Ayutthaya, so it looks like there's a little bit of air.
Apologies.
So we're going to be resetting.
That one is entirely on my fault.
No worries. These things happen from time to time. So, yep, I know the bracket's still up. We'll be removing the bracket in just a moment. I wanted to get the lobby set up first. So, Ayutthaya is the map,
Welcome to
and we are here.
Prepare for battle.
Here we go,
And
folks.
here we go. This is an entirely different map from either of the previous two. I'd say it's the furthest one outside of that 3v3 just brawly style. It offers a lot of things in ways of high ground, cover, a lot of things to play around if you want to play bunker, a lot of ways to get around using the walls as a brawl comp.
You can choose to play this map slow, but most teams don't, and I think that's probably wise. Most teams just kind of race to the middle and see what happens, and I think that's the way to play it. You got to get to the middle and start getting a vantage point. There's so many advantages you can get here. We see Shadow Devil going in deep immediately, and he's taken extremely low and nearly killed. He's down to 20 health, but he manages to escape.
That picks up that healing from Ivy Cat, and it makes you wonder how on earth are they going to find the kill onto Johnny Robot here. This Pharah looks absolutely free, but if Shadow Devil can find an uppercut onto him, force them into the hallway, no more flying for you, he says. Asura and Shadow Devil both pressure him down. It's Torb only now left to pick up the pieces of Mallard. And not anymore. The lone hamster pushing up against the Doomfist and really wants him dead.
Right now, Torb only is all alone for the Jalapeno Poppers, and he falls.
0-1.
That was a massive round for Shadow Devil, forcing the Pharah back into that hallway, uppercutting him and pressuring him down away from the Mercy was so important there.
Big plays there from both. Shadow Devil barely escaped with his life initially, actually down to 2 HP before his armor kicked in for his ability. It was by the skin of his teeth. So close, so close, so close.
2, 1.
Now off of the DPS, onto something that we've seen a little bit more commonly here, the Lucio along with the Roadhog and the Reaper that we've seen so much. However, pardon me.
You're good.
However, Jalapeno Poppers are going to be running the full Orisa Hog. We saw it a little bit in the earlier rounds, but it's sort of fallen off as teams have started to realize that maybe the Orisa Hog isn't as strong as we initially thought it'd be.
Absolutely. You definitely have to raise questions about it for sure. Orisa Hog not really getting the value. And there's the Orisa.
Massive pick on the Shadow Devil, though. Really great coordination from them to be able to finish him off before he fell down onto the ground there.
Asura in on the Reaper trying to get some damage in, but Ivy Cat picked off then. Asura trying to stay alive, but cannot.
1.
Johnny Robot showing us his hog does not come to play.
Prepare for battle.
Right now teams tied at 1. Again, we're looking at Team Daddy Kink taking on the Jalapeno Poppers. Jalapeno Poppers made up of members of the Holy Jalapenos. Daddy Kink, a variety pack from the Invictus Illusion org.
3.
I think just as much as Swifter Sweepers did against them in the previous round, Daddy Kink has a lot to prove here. They gotta back up that 3-0. And right now, it's looking like Jalapeno Poppers putting up just as much of a fight as we've seen in every other round, but Torb only back onto the Hammond, which I'm not sure quite how effective that's going to be, into a soldier along with the Pharah. Might just be food for ult charge. No, however, Torb only finds an early kill into Shadow Devil for the soldier. It's going to make this a little more difficult, but he hooks onto the edge of the edge of the map. I'm not sure he'll be coming up anytime soon, though.
Torb only trying to swing his way up. I just don't know if he can. In the meantime, there's still fighting going on. Torb only trying to get there. Folks, can he do it? He can! He's
big purple coming in from the Mallard just before he goes down, though. And it looks like Daddy Kink is going to be able to get healed up just in time for Torb only to re-engage after being lost off the map for so long.
We see Johnny Robot trying to get some value on that Ashe, really struggling to do so, and it does fall. Unfortunate turn of events there for Torb only on that Hammond. Kind of led to that whole thing falling apart there for the Jalapeno Poppers.
That's some great team play from Daddy Kink, however, to boop the Hammond away so that the Mercy can pull off the res. The fact that it was effectively a kill and forcing him to spend so much time off the map is kind of a side bonus from that, but the res alone was almost definitely enough to get them back into that point.
Absolutely, no question about that. Looking now at the match point here for Daddy Kink, trying to get to the first point that they'll need towards advancing towards the finals to take on the Zoomers.
They're closing it out. A lot hangs in the balance here. As Shadow Devil is going to look to find a whole lot of headshots, a whole lot of dynamite on these supports. And a lot of healing. The invulnerability field coming out really early as Torb only charges into the door, into that golden Arista. Shooting outside the shield, they're struggling to get in. The Halt almost pulling Mallard off the map as Torb only forced to back up, pick up a little bit of healing from Johnny Robot. Johnny Robot shield not looking too hot, deciding to engage, but his Lucio is not with him. Going up, lacking a little bit of support here, still getting pushed out. Asura, Ivy Cat, and Shadow Devil playing their cooldown so well, trading them off to force him away.
Mallard went in aggressively onto Shadow Devil, but not able to take him down.
Mallard does not look like he's too into playing with his Reinhardt here. However, he will for the sake of winning the match.
I mean, how many Reddit Lucios are there, really? I mean, that's the thing, right? Torb,
too many.
Too many. Torb only about to get his Earth Shatter here. It's going to be tough to get value, though, with the positioning they have. They need to find a way to force them off the top, and conveniently, the map provides.
I believe here, they can back up, play a little bit of time. This window from Ivy Cat could be big, though. I believe it does damage boosted dynamite, if I'm not mistaken, and that could be a whole lot of damage.
There's the window coming in. They do boost the dynamite, but it does not connect with anyone.
The one tricks over here, pardon me, jalapeno poppers. Pushing around, however, Ivy Cat able to stay up on the high ground away from everything, throwing down his invulnerability field, using all their cooldowns to try and get away from that Reinhardt Shatter. However, it might be worth it in the end, as Torb only engages into a Bob. He's forced to just hold up his shield while Shadow Devil picks on him. Asura pushing around the other side of the map on the rest of Torb Only's team, but the coalescence coming out from Johnny Robot will be enough to keep them alive. Big dynamite, though, from Shadow Devil, going to be keeping him in this fight, getting them relatively low, but the healing coming out from Johnny Robot is going to be enough. It makes you wonder how much longer can they keep this up? How much more healing does this player have? With the beat coming out from Mallard, allowing Torb Only to push aggressively. Ivy Cat getting pressured out, being taken very low, half health, as Torb Only pushes
Both
through
teams have to be
while
careful not to C9 off the point.
Another shatter from Torb Only, finding the Arista to close him out, and it's just enough time for them to win the point.
Shadow Devil not able to be killed, but it looks like they just barely win the point in an incredible fight there. An incredible fight, actually.
That was something.
That was a long fight. Both teams battling it out.
That was extremely well played by the Poppers, though. They had to kite a lot of things around and managed to take a lot of damage, back off when they needed to, heal it when they needed to, and eventually win that fight.
3, 2,
Right now,
1.
both teams settling in here. Match point. This is a big one right here. First point or first map point will go to the winner. Jalapeno Poppers looking to keep up their run to the finals, while the Daddy Kink is trying to get that first point on the board here. Jalapeno Poppers.
Jalapeno opting to not play any supports. That's a big detriment. However, maybe not if Johnny Robot's going to pop off, find a pick. Asura, however, trading right back into Torb Only and Johnny Robot, pardon me.
An aggressive play there from the Jalapeno Poppers. You have to call it into question now, though, without a doubt.
That might have been what they needed, but maybe just not enough.
Daddy Kink right now moves on to the, or not moves on, pardon me, takes the first map point. Jalapeno Poppers get to pick the next map. So we'll get that next map sorted out here in just a moment.
It's interesting. Where do you think the Jalapeno Poppers need to take Daddy Kink here? Daddy Kink has shown a lot of dominance, especially in the DPS department. And I'm not sure where exactly Jalapeno wants to take in order to maybe nullify some of that.
I think you have to look at the fact that you're having such a hard time dealing with Shadow Devil. And I think if you can isolate out Shadow Devil, you have a chance right now to beat this team. But it's clear to me that Shadow Devil right now is the biggest threat on that team. So we'll be moving into the next map here. Both teams deciding on the map that we'll be moving to.
Black Forest, it looks like.
Black Forest is the choice from Jalapeno Poppers. So we go to Black Forest. Is a really fun map to play. I love this map. It's one of my favorite aesthetics actually in the entire game.
All things considered, I think as fun of a map and as interesting of a round as I think this is going to be, I think they may have just played a little bit more so into the hands of Daddy Kink. This map offers a lot of different high ground, a lot of flank routes, and a lot of ways to really abuse good DPS players.
That is true, without question. So the inside building tends to be, if you have building control on this map here in a 3v3 scenario, it tends to play out in your favor. So teams right now jockeying for a big hook attempt from Shadow Devil, not connecting. Ivy Cat on the Bastion. I have to question what the play was there. See Johnny Robot dipping extremely low, but they have the immortality field to keep him up.
They're going to be retreating back into this little underground. Yeah, like you were saying, I really think we have to call into question what they were thinking, not running any heals or shields with the Bastion. Granted, all of their team is capable of having some degree of self-healing, but it's really not enough when you're trying to shut the entire team's Bastion. As Johnny Robot finds a hook, trading it right back though, is Shira pressuring onto this Orisa, but he doesn't take out the immortality field. That healing's going to run out once she drops down low enough, and she'll find the final kill.
Prepare for battle.
1-0 coming in for Jalapeno Poppers, looking a little bit better than they were last map. This might have just been the pick. However, we will see how Daddy Kink does when they're not picking Bastion in a little bit of a questionable fashion.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the end goal was there. That was a really tough comp to play into that there. I feel like there's got to be some questions had about that. So.
It may have been something to do with how little time teams have to choose their comps. It could have just been a little mix-up. It could have been somebody not clicking on a hero in time. 15 seconds really goes by fast.
Direct hit from Asura on that Pharah, almost taking down Johnny Robot. Tons of damage coming in there from Asura.
Jalapeno Poppers effectively just going to be locked in this room until either Johnny Robot, Shadow Devil, or Asura can find something.
Shadow Devil dips extremely low, but he is not taken down, and Mallard falls.
Asura's going to be the first one to find it, and on the support, no healing on the side of Jalapeno Poppers left. And this looks like it might just be a field day.
Ivy Cat was dropped extremely low for a moment there, but they weren't able to finish anybody off. Johnny Robot is 1 HP, but cannot be killed.
It's definitely Torb only, effectively being played with by Daddy Kink here. Going to be closing it out, finding that last kill, showing us why they were so dominant on that last map.
Daddy Kink looking to be in prime position here, 2 points away from taking the victory, and then moving on to the finals to take on the Zoomers. What do you expect to see here? What can Jalapeno Poppers do to try to deal with Shadow Devil's incredible DPS play that we've seen thus far today?
I'm starting to think that Jalapeno Poppers really needs to think about sticking to some of the comps that we were seeing earlier, some of those more bunker style. They've been splitting up a lot. They've been trying to play these DPS, but just to no avail. Maybe if they stay a little bit more as a close unit, a little bit more together, a little bit better supporting, like we see out of Daddy Kink here, they may be able to stop the pressure from coming in. However, Torb only charging on the Reinhardt, that's almost definitively a death sentence, regardless though he has 2 supports, keeping him alive for goodness knows how long.
But this whole comp is centered around pocketing the Reinhardt. It's the Solo Cup special, folks.
Has to play on his entire door, going for another aggressive charge. Is Shadow Devil going to punch with hook? And no, he doesn't find anything. This Reinhardt only has so long before he finds the Shatter charge up, sitting here at 63%, swinging the store almost freely up to 80%.
Oh no, Mallard.
Shadow Devil with a massive flank, going to be finding the Lucio from the side of Jalapeno Poppers.
Mallard unfortunately can't get away from that hook, and Daddy Kink right now in prime position here. Torb only about to get an Earth Shatter. He puts it out and connects with nobody, and Ivy Cat popping the coalescence here to finish off the enemy Moira.
It's unfortunate. Jalapeno Poppers were in a very good position to close out that map, but a big play from Shadow Devil, who we've been talking about all night, really helped them win that fight.
And right now, I don't know why they haven't gone after Johnny Robot yet, but they haven't finished him off yet.
Don't speak too soon.
There you go.
They find them.
Score 2-1.
One more point here until they pick up the win for Daddy Kink. Jalapeno Poppers looking lost in the sauce, if you will. Really looking a little bit confused about this meta.
Yeah, Jalapeno Poppers look to be struggling severely right now, and it's not in a good situation for them. Daddy Kink has taken 5 of the 6 points that have been played so far in this matchup. I just don't know if Jalapeno Poppers can turn this around. There's way too much momentum for Daddy Kink.
I like this. So Daddy Kink coming out with the same comp as they did last time. It's going to be difficult for the side of Jalapeno Poppers, yeah. It's going to be difficult for Daddy King to put down enough damage as Torb only swinging away on the Genji. Another charge into a tree. A little questionable with the Mallard. Goodness gracious. Going ham, taking out that Reaper all on his own, picking up the final kill, asserting his dominance over the Lucio coming out from Ivy Cat.
Select your hero.
Right now looking real strong. Torb only did a great job on that Reinhardt there. Really good support play from the Mallard as well. Well known obviously for his hits gain capabilities. He's looking really strong on that support today. There's actually a fantastic play in the highlight montage for this week's podcast. If you haven't had a chance to see it, go check out that VOD. It's definitely worth your time.
As much as I prefer to see an Orisa come out from them, I do like this Far Mercy play from Jalapeno Poppers. This might be what they need. If they can put enough chip damage and deny Shadow Devil some of those peaks, some of those shots onto Johnny Robot. Oh, a big boot from Torb only. That could be huge as he pushes the entirety of Daddy King out of position, taking out...
But Johnny Robot dips down to about 10 health.
Torb only coming up massive on this hamster.
He takes down...
Daddy King looks absolutely lost right now.
Taking down
They got
Ivy.
pushed down and unable to do anything past that. Oh my goodness, Shadow Devil though. Popping off just one more time for Daddy.
Oh, Mallard is in big trouble right now. Mallard needs to watch himself, and he's down. Oh, but so is Shadow Devil. It's a tank battle.
Fight.
The charge from Asura was huge.
Torb only so low though. One more touch and that'll be it. Reinhardt could swing through any of these, or just a Fire Strike will be enough to close it out.
Oh, but a big play there.
Oh, and he misses the Fire Strike.
Torb only is literally 1 health right, or not literally 1 health, but he's very close to 1 health. He's at 2 health.
He might push him off the edge of the map. No.
And Daddy
We
King.
find out what happens between the Unstoppable Force and an immovable object as Asura just completely obliterates the ball from Torb only.
And Daddy King goes on to the finals. They'll be taking on the Zoomers. Good work from the Jalapeno Poppers to get to this point. But we have Daddy King and Zoomers in the finals. We will be going to that right away here. And I believe Booth is setting up that lobby. So we will be getting everybody together in that lobby. So we will be bringing that to you in just a couple of moments. Stay tuned, everyone. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the finals of the 3v3 Elimination Lockout Tournament. We have the Zoomers taking on Daddy Kink in the finals, and I'm going to be kicking it over for commentary here to both of our fantastic lobby hosts and commentators tonight, Booth and Door. Take it away, guys.
All right, we got an exciting finals coming in. Daddy Kink coming in with so much momentum, but Zoomers also breezing straight through most of their games so far. It'll be really battle of the best that we've had so far tonight. What do you
Yeah,
think?
these have definitely been two of the more dominant teams that we've noticed. Just really, it's you were expecting it to be tank play early on just because of this meta we're in, but it's really been the DPS that's been shining for both of these teams.
I think it really shows how different 3v3 is, especially with this lockout state. You can only play Orisa so many times. You can only play these healers that you really want to keep that bunker alive so many times. And showing how important the support pick is in fighting it with the DPS.
I think also them showing how good the Ashe is against those bunkers has really forced them off it. But kind of bunkers, definitely bunker here on the side of Zoomers, running the Mei with the Sigma and the Moira, getting pretty low there. Both teams going underneath the bridge here. Asura, Shadow Devil, and Ivy Cat running the Reaper, the Roadhog, and the Lucio. And Shadow Devil getting real low, the finishing in, getting frozen though, finishing him off. It's just Ivy Cap left underneath, and a quick win there from Zoomers, making that one, making it 1-0 here.
It makes you wonder why Daddy King decided to take that lower ground once they realized there was a Mei on the other side. The very first wall nearly costing them a life. The second one fully killing off that Roadhog.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I guess.
Isn't that always the case? Daddy King maybe just a little bit too cocky after that win.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like there. But coming out on their dive, they've done pretty well here. And then kind of a death ball here on the side of Zoomers. Got Reinhardt, Reaper, and Ana. And fight starting right off away. Shadow Devil going right in with the Doomfist. Taking a bit of damage. Needs to heal up here. But Zoomers having a good... going back down to low ground. The high ground's really nice here for Daddy King. And they're doing a really good job here dealing with this Doomfist here on the side of Daddy King.
Neither of these teams are afraid of each other at all. Shadow Devil easily able to get away, and Talon's kind of stuck here, trying to force the engagement, but leaving his supports out to dry. It looks like Unkemp's gonna get picked off here, and he does.
Yeah, falling early, that's not going to help them, but they do get the pick there onto Asura. That's good. They still have the Moira, and Shadow Devil then taking out Talon. But we're down to 1v1 here, Moira versus Reaper, and yeah, you're going to give that one to the Reaper.
All things considered, I think if the Moira is able to keep her fade up, she stood a decent chance in that fight if she was able to keep her distance, but Overnight Coder doing a great job closing it out, staying calm, cool, and collected, and making sure he gets that round for his team.
And Daddy Kink in a weird place here. Down 2-0 here on this first map here. Zoomers looking very good. They seem to be picking the right comps here against Daddy Kink. And we see the Pharmacy now coming out both sides. Zoomers using that Orisa that they like. And then Shadow Devil pulling out the Wrecking Ball.
I really do think the Pharah Mercy with Orisa is extremely strong. The Orisa able to stay alive so long. She's not able to be very well pressured out on her own, especially if she has her Fortify up.
Maybe running the ball might be a pretty good pick against that here. Maybe just trying to disrupt her a little bit, but that's still a lot more hit scan coming at the Pharmacy here on the side of Daddy King. So just nobody really has seemed to been able to find the right pick here previously to Zoomers running this comp. We'll see if this is the comp here out of Daddy King to do it.
I think it's interesting. Shadow Devil forgoing playing DPS. We've seen him pop off a lot his past couple matches. It might be. Oh my goodness! Yes or not, finds the boop on that Helm.
We see spinning there for what 10-15 seconds or so, but all you need to do is get one person off
on that tree.
You're not resonant. You're not resonant. Going real low, but Asura taking out Unkempt now, and Overnight Coder, only one left, did take out Asura, but without any heals here left, and Shadow Devil being able to shoot a little bit. You gotta like Daddy King's chances. Yeah. Overnight Coder getting real low, just trying to sustain out what he can, and will fall there. Daddy King coming back there, bringing it to 2-1.
Again, you can't help but feel like that was off the back of another big pick from Shadow Devil, regardless of the role, apparently. Maybe just tell him stepping a little bit more into no man's land than he should have been.
Yeah, that was the first. I think that's the first time we've seen Zoomers lose a point on that. I don't think anyone else has been able to beat them with that comp so far. But they do still have the Mercy available. They're going to use it here with the Doomfist and with the Monkey. And then we see that Reaper, Roadhog, and Lucio comp coming out from the side of Daddy King, which we've seen a lot. And going right in away. Overnight Coder taking out.
That's a huge
coming out
the
here.
Reaper won't be able to put down the same amount of damage onto this Winston. I feel like every time we've seen a Winston, there's just happened to be a Reaper on the other side, and it's been so detrimental.
All the monkey mains are crying about it because that just seems like this is the meta, even in our comp games of this. And Ivy Cat falling, that's not going to help the side of Daddy King here. Shadow Devil X, a little bit of heal, and it looks like he's going to make this one a Zoomer's win here, taking this first map. And
3-1,
again,
pretty
best of
decisive.
3, but Zoomer's looking very strong. And we're going to see, yeah, that Reaper play here on the side of Overnight Coder, doing a great job.
Very good.
Asura
We're
falling.
closing out this point, and this was a very decisive one as it wasn't looking too good up until he found these kills.
Yeah, that was good map. That was a fun one to watch there. Zoom definitely looking dominant, but it looks like we're gonna go with Daddy King's pick here is Castillo. So
And
we're
we
gonna bring
saw
this.
Shadow Devil pop off a lot here, playing up against a prior team, and looks like he's trying to do it again.
Yeah, they definitely did well on this map here. Not surprised to see him go back to it. But this is this could be Daddy King's point here. We might be going to 3 maps. We'll see what ends up happening. But starting into our match here, Zoomers still up 1 here. Just need to get 3 points here to win the final. What comps do you think you're going to be seeing coming out here from Zoomers and Daddy King early on?
I think plenty of DPS coming out from Daddy King. All the open angles here. Lots of play for Ashe, Reaper, Doomfist. Anything you could really think of can take advantage of these open sightlines as tanks are able to be flanked so easily.
And definitely seeing some DPS coming out. We see that Sigma, Doomfist, and Moira comp there on the side of Zoomers, which they did have some success with earlier, taking that high ground right away here. We do see a kind of a dive comp, Shadow Devil X pulling out the Monkey with a Reaper and a Moira here, and taking the long way around, maybe trying to get a little closer before they engage here. But like, they're going to have to back off here and give some space a little bit.
And Shadow Devil still not playing any DPS. Taking that tiny little high ground for is Reaper and himself to force everybody off. The entire side of Zoomers dropping just a little bit lower than they're probably comfortable with, but Ivy Cat himself dropping beneath down to the 30 HP, holding on to this high ground until maybe he can recover some health with North. Shadow Devil, though, has no plans on doing that, jumping directly in, forcing his team into the line of fire. And it doesn't look like it was the right decision. Zoomers just turn around and take him out because Ivy Cat could not go back in at such low health.
No, they did Telecom did a really great job there, throwing out his shield and blocking that healing that was going to be coming through from Ivy. And Overnight Coder just able to clean up here and make it a quick 1-0. I just, as much as I'd like to see Monkey, I myself am a Diva main, so I always like playing a bit of dive. It just doesn't seem to be the pick here in these 3v3s.
And yet, somehow, every time somebody's been picking Monkey, I suppose we've seen plenty of Doomfist and Reaper, but it's always been a Doomfist or Reaper on the other end whenever it's a Monkey, and it just shows how difficult it is to play against that, especially when you have to have your entire team follow you in.
Now, going back to some more of the traditional comps we've seen, Bunker coming out on the side of Daddy King here, the Orisa, the Bastion, and the Baptiste. And then we have our Death Volley comp we normally see here on the side of Zoomers as well, Honor, Reaper, and the Reinhardt. They're going to try to get as close as they can and limit as much sightline here for the side of Daddy King. And they're just going to keep kiting around point here, trying to force them to really take space to try to come into them. And Shadow Devil X getting the massive side. Oh, they forced him to come around, and that goes the healing there. Oh, Daddy, great job there. Zoomers is going to have a hard time getting through all of this damage here from the Bastion without a healer.
It's unfortunate, but Overnight Coder can possibly pull this one back if he can find a good flank onto the Bastion and live behind that shield for just a second. If Telmacon can distract for long enough, and it doesn't look like that's happening at all.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
Having absolutely none of that from Overnight, sealing out this map, showing them, hey, we came to play. We're not here to just run Papega comps.
Yeah, losing that honor really hurt them there. You have to be able to take a little bit of damage and heal up with a comp like that, but not the traditional Bunker, kind of away here for Daddy King. They have been running a lot of Reaper with the Roadhog and then whatever support they're feeling at the time. So maybe we'll see them coming out with there. We have the Pharmacy available for both teams as well too. And we see the Pharmacy on the side of Zoomers with the Monkey, and then we see the Symmetra, Reinhardt, Moira on the side of Daddy King. Nothing to really contest this Pharmacy at all. Zoomers definitely look like they have the advantage early on just with these composition picks.
A little bit of an unfortunate matchup with the Symmetra going into the Far Mercy, but I've been excited to maybe see a Symmetra all night as she offers so much map control on such a small space.
And Shadow Deluxe almost getting a pick there with an early charge, not able to finish. Oh, but he is booped off the side. He needs to charge away just to try to save him. With Symmetra and Moira stuck up top still, they're very split here. This could be a great opportunity for Zoomers to get in some damage. But you're not going
to get up the stairs at just the wrong time. Overnight Coder putting in so much damage onto this high ground.
And losing your Moira early. Looks like they're just going to try to hide in this, block that monkey from diving in. But I think Zoomers is okay with it. Having this fire here is going to be very strong for them. And Shadow Deluxe tries to take matters into his hand, going for the charge, not catching much. And Zoomers making it 2-1. Just Daddy King just didn't seem to have the right composition there.
Yeah, honestly, that was a really unfortunate draw. I think the Symmetra has a good bit of potential, but that Far Mercy can't be disregarded. I think you really need to think about what heroes your opponent has left, and clearly they didn't realize that a Far Mercy might have just been the foil to everything they wanted to do.
Exactly. Well, we see a Widow here on the side of Zoomers. Maybe they were expecting the Pharmacy, but Daddy King going back to that dive comp, they've had some success with the Sura there on the Genji, the Doomfist, and with the Lucio, just trying to dive right in on a target, putting all their resources in and trying to make this a 2v3 early on, which looks like they chose the Widow as their first target, who's able to get away.
On the Widow beforehand, picking up all 3 kills in the one round that he did get to play it. See if he can pop off again.
Losing their shield early sure does hurt. And just the dive from Daddy King looking to be very strong here, picking their targets and going in one by one and finishing them off. 2-2 here now, and whew, this is match point here for Zoomer still. Daddy King, though, it may be possible to turn this around and take us here to a third map.
I think a lot of this last one's going to come down to team comp. Daddy King has a few things left in their hero pool, as does Zoomers, but I think that was a really unfortunate loss in team comp in general, that Widow just unable to do anything against a Genji and Doomfist.
And Zoomers expecting the Pharmacy. They're going to see the Pharmacy going with the Hammond here to accompany the Pharmacy on the side of Daddy King. And them running the McCree, definitely a good pick here. Able to stun, get in a lot of damage. But they got to be careful. That's a pretty good spot there for Shadow Devil to try to get some damage coming in, but he needs to retreat back and take some heals, just giving Ivycat ult charge here.
What a great composition coming out from Zoomers, though. This McCree, along with the Orisa, is clearly chosen with the Pharmacy in mind.
They did that Orisa being a very strong pick for this because it used that Fortify, stops some of the knockback abilities here. And it looks like every time Shadow Devlex goes in, gets us crazy low, has to retreat, Ivycat has to hit the heals, but she is climbing an arc charge, already up to 80%. And the Zoomer's going to give up a little bit of high ground here. Interesting choice. He gives the ball a free slam on them without having to use his grapple. But they're going to...
matter, though. Unkemp's already up to 70% ult charge, as well as Overnight Coder. That's almost a guaranteed kill onto the far if she's flying in the wrong spot.
And Shadow Devil's getting out with just a P left. Oh, that would have been a big turnaround for them. And they're starting to climb up to their ultimates, with really only the Valkyrie going to be able on the side of Daddy King to Sura, nowhere near ultimate there on the Pharah, and nowhere near the Hammond mines either.
So
having that high noon is going to be very strong against that Pharmacy, especially when this control point unlocks.
Yeah, Shadow Devil going to be forced to maybe spin around point, maybe sit behind that statue, but when he's standing still, how much can Ashura and Ivycat do to help him? Deciding to try and force him off the point with the ult with only 4 seconds left. Overnight Coder sets up for the cat. Shadow Devil getting stunned on the point.
And
finding nothing but the window coming through. No cap from either team yet. Tem trying to reassert himself on the point, and the bongo coming down. That might be enough. Overnight Coder can find his shots. And it looks like
going for the last minute res, but no, Zoomers winning here, and they are your Overwatch Tranquility Community 3v3 winners in the end. Congratulations to Zoomer. They did a great job all night. Daddy Kink as well. Really a great show tonight, but Zoomers on top here at the end.
I think that was a lot of great games to see. It was really fun to see the meta develop in general, especially towards the middle of those brackets, as teams really started to figure out how to play to their advantages and against what they think the other team might have.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch unfold. We saw a lot of those bunker comps starting off, and teams then going Rhine and with their Reaper and their Moira or their Ana. But then we started to see that Ashe shake up, and about that first round when we first saw the Ashe come out from Daddy King, really started to shape up how teams were playing, and I think that was a really big factor in teams starting to get more aggressive, and made some really fun matches to watch tonight.
Yeah, it really was. Thanks to all the teams for coming out tonight as well. I think we'll try and get Ski for Yeti back here for a couple closing notes.
Yeah, it was an incredible tournament to watch tonight. Honestly, the person who stand out to me the most tonight, it's got to be Overnight Coder. Just incredible play all night. Really, honestly, MVP for that team throughout the night tonight, and really played well. So congratulations again to the Zoomers, the champions of the 3v3 Elimination Tournament. That is going to be all for us here. Thanks again for the amazing casting to both Door and Booth. You all did amazing. And thanks again to all our participants tonight. We will be having another special event in about 4 or 5 weeks. It'll be the Ana Paintball Tournament, so stay tuned for more information on that, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun when we get there, but that is all for us tonight. For Booth and Door, I'm Ski for Yeti, and we will see you next time. Our next broadcast is Sunday with our feature match. We'll see you then.
Experience tranquility.